AFC Central, and more importantly today, it's a game that actually means something. The Steelers taking on the Browns, and we welcome you to Cleveland Browns Stadium. Ian Eagle along with Solomon Wilcots. How do these two teams respond to their difficult, heartbreaking losses from a week ago? That is the question heading into this matchup today. So,
well, after the devastating loss last week by the Cleveland Browns, a win here today, and they can still share a spot on top of the AFC Central Division. So they have to redirect their focus. As for the Pittsburgh Steelers, well, they felt like they statistically dominated the Super Bowl champion Baltimore Ravens 1 week ago, so they have a chance to make amends here today.
It is the 98th all-time meeting between these two teams. We've got all the action coming up. These fans are ready for the Steelers and the Browns on CBS.
Presentation of the National Football League.
It's one of the oldest rivalries in the NFL. For 51 years, the Browns and the Steelers have been a part of football history, leaving us with some incredible memories. A new day has dawned for the city of Cleveland. The Browns' mission to get back to AFC prominence, to find themselves once again being top dogs. A familiar foe stands in their way. These Steelers have waited a long time for this. They won't give up the Central Division lead without a fight. It's football the way it should be. Next. Week 9 for the NFL on CBS. We come to you today from Cleveland, Ohio. The Steelers and the Browns, a matchup that Bill Cowher calls a classic.
Subway presents Fresh Starts. A salute to the game's early.
Central standings, Pittsburgh currently holding down the top spot, but they missed out on a chance to take control of the division, losing to Baltimore last week. They have the half-game lead, in Cleveland just one game behind the Steelers. These two teams meeting for the first time this season. And they will finish off the regular year matched up at Heinz Field in the regular season finale. Bill Cowher, a lot of ties to this city and to this franchise. He played for the Browns. He coached for the Browns. He had two of his daughters born in the city of Cleveland.
And when we talked to him about this rivalry, you could just see the gleam in his eye as he began to get excited about this game here today.
As for Butch Davis, he told us flat out, before you move on to the next week, you have to make sure the players can process what happened last week in one of the strangest sequence of events in that loss to Chicago, 27-21 in overtime. A bizarre stretch at the end of regulation and then at the beginning of overtime when Tim Couch was picked off and taken the other way for the score. Pittsburgh has won the toss. Cleveland kicking off with Phil Dawson. And a short kick that takes a bounce to the 19. Hank Poteet trying to cut it to the outside. And Poteet is wrapped up at the 24-yard line by Anthony Denman on special teams. A 9-yard return. Cordell Stewart enjoying the kind of success that he enjoyed back in 1997. His completion percentage higher than it's ever been, 61%. And he is not making big mistakes on the field, and he's been a winner over his last 12 starts, 9-3.
Yeah, his comfort level has really increased in this offense, and that's why his accuracy has also improved.
Open up with a base offense. Motion man Hines Ward on a 1st and 10. Handoff, Bennett running into a crowd and nowhere to go. Orpheus Roy, the former Steeler, first man to get there, combining with Courtney Brown, and a loss of 1. Take a look at this Pittsburgh offense, and the offensive line, 0 penalties in their last 4 games. Gandy, Faneca, Hardings, Tilsky, and Marvell Smith. Second year out of Arizona State. Backs and receivers. Bettis has not put up huge numbers the last 2 weeks, but he has been effective running on that Baltimore defense 1 week ago. Plexico Burris has woken up of late as well with back-to-back strong outings. On a 2nd and 11. Stewart rolling out. Sideline throw and the catch made by Hines Ward. Incomplete. He was out of bounds. They'll confer on the sideline with the side judge. Jameer Miller had the coverage, and now it's called a catch. So Ward did bring it in cleanly with both feet in bounds. Cleveland Browns defense, what a shot in the arm it was to get Courtney Brown back. But the problem now, they lose Keith McKenzie for the rest of the year. McKenzie out with an ankle injury. Linebackers, Miller. Boyer gets the start for the injured Wally Rayner, out with an ankle. Dwayne Rudd on the other side at his outside linebacking position. And in the secondary, Corey Fuller, Dalen McCutcheon, neither would be considered big corners to deal with Plexico Burns, Ellsworth, and Little, the safeties, and they will need some help defensively dealing with the run. On a 4-receiver look, 3rd and 8. Stewart straight back. Look at the protection. Fires and almost intercepted. Percy Ellsworth had a great opportunity.
And this is what the Pittsburgh Steelers want to avoid, is committing turnovers. So Cordell Stewart's going to have to protect the football. This Cleveland Brown football team leads the league with 16 interceptions on the year. And they could have had their 17th had Percy Ellsworth made the interception right there. A ball he should have caught.
Ellsworth knows it, heads to the sideline, and Josh Miller on the field. Mike Schneck will snap it. Dennis Northcutt standing at his own 29. Miller comes in averaging over 43.5 yards per punt. Strong kick. A darting spiral taken at the 13. Here's Northcutt making his move. Northcutt zigzagging up the middle and then upended at the 25-yard line. And that's where the Browns will start out. Mike Logan the stop on special teams. Tim Couch, he is 2-0 as a starter against the Pittsburgh Steelers. He has had success going against this 3-4 defense.
Yeah, he says it's going to be really incumbent upon him today to really make the proper reads, especially on 3rd down. But Tim Couch has done a good job of not throwing interceptions. In fact, he had attempted over 100 passes until his pass was batted up in the air and intercepted in that overtime loss 1 week ago against the Chicago Bears.
It was 120 on the button, and Bruce Arians has been thrilled with his play, the offensive coordinator for the Browns. He feels like they've been clicking in recent weeks. On a handoff, James Jackson running off tackle, and Jackson able to accelerate to the 29-yard line for a gain of 3.5. Casey Hampton involved in the stop. Cleveland Browns offense along that offensive line: Oben, Verba, Wollabaugh, McKinney, and Roger Chenois. Backs and receivers, running game not very strong in terms of average, but Jackson, they've been happy with his progress, the rookie out of Miami. Wide receivers Johnson and Northcutt, O.J. Santiago. Now the starter at tight end because of the injury to Ricky Dudley. Throwing on 2nd down, and Quincy Morgan, the 3rd receiver, getting involved. A 1st down for Cleveland on that quick toss over the middle for 12 across the 40-yard line. The Pittsburgh Steelers defense comes in ranked number 1 in the NFL. The only team working with a 3-4 set, legitimate 3-4. Smith, Hampton, Kimo von Oelhoffen. Linebackers, oh, what a talented group. Gilden, Holmes, Bell, and Porter. And the secondary, they've been opportunistic. Dwayne Washington along with Chad Scott, the corners, Alexander and Flowers, the safeties. On a 1st and 10, handoff to Jackson. And not much room. 2-yard gain as Kendrell Bell met him, the talented young linebacker, rookie out of Georgia.
And every player we talked to with the Pittsburgh Steelers, they said they cannot allow this Cleveland Browns offense to be able to run the football. It was interesting in talking to Kendrell Bell. He's a guy that has really flourished in a 3-4 defense. Very complicated scheme, but the rookie has really flourished, learning from a lot of the experienced players around him.
Unfazed. Do you think that's a fair description?
Very much so.
Completely. 2nd and 9 after the 1-yard gain. Couch throwing underneath to Kevin Johnson. And Johnson just shy of midfield, covered by Chad Scott. It's a gain of 8 and a little bit short of a 1st down.
Kevin Johnson has been the go-to guy on 3rd down for Tim Couch, and this offense, they haven't done too well on 3rd down. They're facing a 3rd and 1 situation coming up. You see Kevin Johnson on 2nd down making the catch in front of cornerback Chad Scott. They've only converted 3 of 31 on 3rd down over the last 3 games. It's important that they do a much better job here today.
Johnson, the old man of the wide receiving corps at 25 years of age in just his 3rd year, but it shows you the kind of youth they have. Couch throwing on 3rd and short, other side of the field, and Quincy Morgan, rookie out of Kansas State, moves the chains for the Browns after the gain of 5 to the 45 of Pittsburgh.
And it's the timing of the play in this offense from offensive coordinator Bruce Arians. It's all about timing. It's like a quick drop. Tim Couch lets it fly, but it's timed up very well. The rookie Quincy Morgan making the catch inbounds in front of the cornerback, Dwayne Washington, who he said we have to really be prepared for the quick passing game of the Cleveland Browns.
Couch is now 3 of 3, 25 yards. Mike Sellers, the fullback, sets up as a receiver. Jackson misdirection. Able to turn the corner and put the head down. Sellers came over for a key block after he started in motion. And a 4-yard gain for James Jackson, and he earned it.
It's a nicely designed play. It takes a little bit more time than you want to develop, but watch the eyes of Kendrell Bell. He's not fooled at all, and he's pursuing. He's a fast guy, and look, he just gets leveled. He gets knocked over, and that's Jeremy McKinney, the right guard, who takes the rookie out on that play.
We'll call it a 2nd and 5. Under 10 minutes to play now in the first quarter. Handoff up the middle for Jackson, and tripped up as he crossed the 40-yard line by Rodney Bailey, rookie out of Ohio State. And Jackson picks up 2 up the gut.
Bailey's finally starting for this Pittsburgh defense. Took him a few games to get really in rhythm. Now he's a part of that steel curtain defense that's just been flourishing. #1 defense in the National Football League. It starts with shutting down the run, and then their linebackers can all run to the football and make plays.
Good opening drive for the Browns. A 3rd and 3 from the 38. Couch, short drop, throwing over the middle, incomplete. Mike Sellers. He had the step on Lee Flowers, but Sellers could not haul it in. 4th down.
And these are the plays that the Cleveland Browns have to make against this Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Good throw by Tim Couch. Ball out in front. He led him really well. You just have to make the catch. Mike Sellers, usually a very capable receiver out of the backfield.
So Chris Gardocki on. Holds that NFL record. Most punts without a block in his career. Left-footed punter looking for the corner. And perfectly placed. Down at the 1-yard line. It was Raymond Jackson who tried to catch it. It came off of him and then landed squarely at the 1. No score in the first. The Steelers and the Browns from Cleveland. The 3rd of 5 straight divisional games. They are in Cleveland today with 8:59 to go in the first quarter, and the Steelers facing a 1st and 10 at their own 1-yard line after the punt from Chris Gardocki. Steelers talk about running the football, and Jerome Bettis said we can run on anybody in the league.
And they like to go to the left side with that center Jeff Hardings, and then the guard and Alan Faneca and Wayne Gandy. That's where they make their money.
On 1st down, Stewart looking to throw it. Airing it out. Sideline toss. Plexico Burris. And broken up. Corey Fuller had the coverage one-on-one, and Fuller told us we're going to get physical with Plexico.
And what a surprise here on 1st down from their own 1-yard line, going up top to Plexico Burris, working against the cornerback Corey Fuller, who has good inside position. But Burris has to go up over the top to fight for that football. One of the things many of his teammates and the quarterback and even the coaches have been talking to him about, he needs to do that more consistently instead of letting the ball come over the shoulder, have to go up and get it at its highest point.
Now a 2nd and 10 from the 1 after the incompletion. They'll run it this time, and they'll go nowhere. Jerome Bettis is stopped. Percy Ellsworth and a safety.
And they go behind that left side. I told you, that's where they like to make their money. But guess what? That's where Courtney Brown and Orpheus Roy, they're lining up over there also. Courtney Brown in his 2nd game back had a huge week last week against the Chicago Bears. And what a surprise, what a shock for Jerome Bettis in this Pittsburgh Steelers offense.
Brown had an immediate impact in his season debut after the knee injury. Here, Cleveland rises up defensively.
Saturn on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36. IBM, taking e-business and your business to the next level. And by Saturn, now with 2 distinctively different car lines, the L Series and S Series.
Steelers came in as the only team in the NFL to not allow points in the 1st or 3rd quarters of their games this season. While their defense didn't give up points, It was Cleveland's defense that earned the points. Orpheus Roy wrapping up Jerome Bettis, and a 2-0 Cleveland lead.
Yeah, this Cleveland defense very aggressive. They can all run to the football. Jerome Bettis says all 11 guys get to the ball on every play.
On the return, Northcutt in great field position for Cleveland as he crosses midfield. Down to the 49-yard line of the Steelers. 26-yard return. Hank Poteet involved in the stop.
And it's rare that you see Jerome Bettis stopped in the backfield. Here's Orpheus Roy. He'll come in. He'll beat the right tackle, Marvell Smith, and he makes an excellent tackle on Bettis in the end zone before he can get the ball across the goal line. Big-time play for this Cleveland Brown defense. You see Butch Davis is really excited about the way his defense is playing so far here today.
And something we will talk about, the amount of snaps that the defense has been on the field for in recent games. Last week, 87 snaps. Normally the average is between 65 and 70. Couch, pump fake, timing pattern, and caught down the sideline by White. Out of bounds at the 23-yard line. That covers 26 yards through the air. He beat Joey Porter, the linebacker, forced to go back in coverage.
And if you want to know how this team is responding after the loss, this is just a wheel route by Jamil White. He's going up top on Joey Porter, working against the running back. Nice pass by Tim Couch. Bruce Arians, the offensive coordinator, says we want to see that quarterback rating in the 90s. Came in with a really good rating here today, but Jamil White making plays out of the backfield. Very aggressive calling by Bruce Arians for this offense.
First down, another pump fake. Couch over the middle. And dropped by Santiago. O.J. Santiago seemingly had it into his body and then coughed it up. Lee Flowers on the coverage.
Well, this doesn't help Couch's quarterback rating at all. He's had two players drop passes so far in the first quarter. First it was Mike Sellers, and here O.J. Santiago has the ball right in his midsection and can't hold on to it. Good play calling coming out at the beginning of this game, being very aggressive in the play calling for the Browns offense, and I think they have the Steelers on their heels right now.
And a 3-receiver look on a 2nd and 10 from the 23. Checking off at the line is Couch. Straight back. Couch pats the ball and throws. Soars it out of bounds. He was looking in the direction of Dennis Northcutt, and it will be 3rd and 10 upcoming.
I'm really impressed with the maturity of Tim Couch. He really seems to have great command of the offense. He seems to be a leader on the field right now, and he's making really good decisions in the quick 3- and 5-step drops. He's going to the right guy every time. Bruce Arians says he's really surprised, and even the head coach Butch Davis says that right now he's ahead of schedule and where they thought he would be.
Tim Couch. He has had a lot of time to throw the football so far. Out of the shotgun, Couch slings it towards the sideline. And Quincy Morgan creating after the catch and a first down. Out of bounds at the 13-yard line. It's a pass play of 11 yards.
It's the very short passing game that's really working for Tim Couch in this offense. We talked with Dwayne Washington. He told us, he said they were really concerned about the quick passes. Felt like they would play a different technique today. Haven't seen it employed just yet. They wanted to play about 5 yards off the ball. Quincy Morgan, he's a guy that's been progressing, a rookie out of Kansas State. He's a big receiver, one of the biggest they have on this offensive football team.
And 3 catches early for Morgan. A 1st and 10 now at the 13. Running game, handoff. And Jackson is brought down quickly after a gain of 1. Earl Holmes able to wrap him up. Clock continues to move as we approach 7 minutes to go here in the first. Cleveland leading Pittsburgh 2-0 and looking for more.
Yeah, now they're down here in the red zone, facing 2nd down. They have to make a play. Try to go up top to one of the receivers. Quincy Morgan is your biggest receiver. He's the guy that you maybe try to find on a fade route. The running game just hasn't gotten going for this offensive football team, only averaging 3.1 yards per rush. So the passing game has what's worked so far for this Browns offense.
Kevin Johnson has 4 straight games with a touchdown. On 2nd down, Couch again has the time. And the touchdown! O.J. Santiago! He beat Flowers on a post pattern. 12 yards, scoring strike. Couch to Santiago.
Shannon Sharp ran this same route 1 week ago and scored a touchdown. Now is O.J. Santiago. You see he'll get inside of Lee Flowers just behind the linebacker, number 50, Earl Holmes. Once he gets in there, it's an easy throw for the quarterback because his vision isn't disrupted, and it's a very short pass.
Gardocki holding it, and Phil Dawson tacks on the extra point. A safety and a good return following the safety to set up the field position, leading the Couch to Santiago. 9-0 Cleveland.
This way.
11th touchdown of the season for Tim Couch, and Cleveland takes a 9-0 lead. O.J. Santiago getting his first score of the year. And Phil Dawson kicking it off. Hank Poteet is the deep man. Ranging over from the 9. Poteet running into a crowd and now has some room. Reversing field, Poteet shake and bake. Able to dance his way to the 36. And then gobbled up by Devin Bush. A 28-yard return for Poteet. Steelers have been struggling. Last ranked kick return team in the AFC. Tim Couch and the Browns up early.
They all laugh at Christopher Columbus.
Bell on CBS is sponsored by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Be you, nothing's better. Dr. Pepper. And by GMC. From professional grade people come professional grade trucks.
Steelers find themselves in a 9-0 hole with 6:27 to go in the first quarter. But instead of working from their own 1-yard line, the line of scrimmage is now the 37. On a pitch, Bettis turns it upfield, and Bettis is spilled out across the 40-yard line. A gain of 5. Brent Boyer, filling in at middle linebacker, makes the stop on the bus.
And Pittsburgh finds themselves down 9-0, but they have to stick with their game plan. This is what they do best. Smash mouth running game with Jerome Bettis, and they do have balance in the offense. Cordell Stewart has upped his game, completing 59% of his passes, over 200-yard passing in the last 2 weeks. And Jerome Bettis over the last 2 weeks hasn't gone for over 100 yards, but his running has been effective where they've pounded the opposing defense. 2nd and 5
now from the 42. No secret that it's Bettis again, scooting forward and comes up just a little bit shy of a first down. 4-yard gain. Earl Little will be given credit for the tackle down low. And it will be 3rd and 1.
And Cordell Stewart, he told us, he said, yeah, we've improved in our passing game. They've even come up with some creative gadget plays. He said, but we're going to stick to what we do best, and that's pound the football. He said, you know what, until the team is able to stop our running game, that's what we're going to keep doing.
Now, Stewart also talked about the offensive coaching staff, that there's been such a connection with the players because all of these guys are former players and they can relate, not necessarily just football, but talk to them about all the other variables that come into play. And that staff is led by Mike Mularkey, the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, Mike told me, he says, you know, we want to be smash mouth, but we want to go to the other end of the spectrum as well and add some exotic, creative plays to make defenses have to really think and make them slow down their thought process a little bit. And they've been able to execute on those plays simply because something they've been working on since the beginning of training camp.
It'll be 3rd and about a foot, as the Steelers need to get to the 47-yard line. They come to the line. And some movement as Ward shifts over. Take a look at the backfield. Full house. Browns crowd the line on a pitch. Bettis, first down, and some more. Jerome Bettis into Cleveland territory and out of bounds just short of the 35-yard line. Courtney Brown took a whiff, and Bettis made him pay.
And we talk about the creativity of Mike Mularkey and many of the offensive coaches on this staff. And this is an excellent play. Just a pitch to the outside to Jerome Bettis. And for a big guy, he has the speed to get outside of a very athletic defensive end in Courtney Brown. And the first man doesn't touch him until he's well up the field and past the first down marker.
Jerome Bettis just moved past Ricky Waters into 12th place all-time, 2nd in career rushing leaders active, behind Emmitt Smith. On a first down, Stewart, play fake. Cordell throwing, finds a seam, loose football. They'll rule it incomplete. Hines Ward, normally a sure-handed receiver, matched up with Dalen McCutcheon. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Give credit to the defense. Dalen McCutcheon, he'll work his way inside, but this ball's got to come out sooner. You can see Hines coming out the break. The ball has to be there now. McCutcheon comes in, rakes over the top with the right hand. It's the way that they coach it up on defense. You come in and you claw at that football. Good play by Dalen McCutcheon.
2nd and 10 now for the Steelers. Clock is stopped. 4:47 to go in the first. Here's Stewart. Sideline toss, diving catch by Plexico Burress. And Burress slides out of bounds at the 30 for a gain of 6. But now we're heading to New York. Jim Nantz with an NFL Today update.
All right, Ian, interesting developments at Indianapolis. Miami with Travis Minor breaking free for a long touchdown run to give them the lead. It's 56 yards in all. But Dominique Rhodes, the rookie starter in place of the injured Edgerrin James, out with an injured shoulder. Status uncertain for the remainder of the day. Let's go back to Ian and Solomon.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. Minor was thought to be the 3rd down back, but the way Lamar Smith has been running of late, Minor might see some action on 1st and 2nd down. This is a 3rd and 4. Stewart. He gets crushed, loses the football late. He's got a 1st down as Hines Ward was able to pick it up, but they'll rule him down once he took that hit just shy of the 20. Good combination of Earl Little and Anthony Henry. Gain of 7. They needed 4. They'll move the chains.
And Cordell had a flashback to his slash days because he could have gotten down much sooner once he got past the 1st down marker. But he's right now, you can see past the 1st down marker, he has to get down a little bit sooner. That ball may have come out before he got down. Good heads-up play by Hines Ward to pick up the ball and continue play.
And a 1st down now at the 22. Steelers offense making a little noise here in the first. Stewart, deep drop, deep ball to the end zone. Plexico Burress cannot catch it.
And many have asked, is Plexico Burress, is it just a one-game wonder? He's got to make this catch for his quarterback, Cordell Stewart. Ball is thrown perfectly, timed up just well. This ball hits him right where you have to. That's between the numbers. The ball cannot be thrown any better than that. You're a 1st-round pick in the National Football League a year ago. You have to begin to make big-time plays for your football team and earn the respect of opposing defense.
And I think that's a play that illustrates why people around the league are not believing just yet on Plexico. Even though he's had back-to-back solid outings, no one really believes he's broken through. Breaking through, though, is Jerome Bettis up the middle and down to the 13-yard line. Rich Tilsky with a block up front. Well, Plexico Burress, you know, we're asking you to form your own opinion, basically, on this cartoon. Recycled Plexico, does it sound enough like plastic? Or are you going to determine that he's been recycled a bit of late? I'm not sure. I'm asking you to basically make up your own mind. We're not going to tell you what it means.
The key is, what direction is he headed? Back to that first column where he really struggled in his first 17 games in the National Football League. His last 2 games, he's been productive. So far here today, he struggled.
You're right. That's the way to look at it. You just broke it down. On a 3rd and 1. Handoff. Bettis falls down short of the marker. Normally 3rd and short. Pittsburgh is a guarantee with Bettis picking up the 1st down, but Tyrone Rogers made sure he didn't get there.
And this defensive front, we know the strength of this defense comes with their defensive line. Keith McKenzie, he's out, but they're still playing well.
And now the storyline shifts to Chris Brown. He missed 4 field goals 1 week ago. First kicker to do that in 4 years since Cole Ford with the Oakland Raiders. Can he erase the memory of Baltimore?
Well, he struggled in his pregame warm-up, only making half of his kicks.
31-yard attempt, and Brown splits the uprights. No doubt about it. Pittsburgh is on the board. Cleveland with a lead, 9-3, 2:02 left in the first.
Whisper it. Shout it out. Send it in an email. Write it in the sky. Or wrap it up and hand it to her. This is the season to tell her how you feel. Certified diamond jewelry set in 18-karat gold, starting at $2.99. There is passion in here. Zales, the diamond store.
Let's belt it out for your Pittsburgh Steelers!
I don't care what stadium you work for, all right? If you want to write a check for who let the dogs out, I'm still going to need to see some ID.
Next time, use the Visa check card instead of cash or checks. It'll get you in, out, and on with life.
Congratulations to the Late Show winner.
Cleveland with a 9-3 lead over Pittsburgh. 2:02 to play in the opening quarter. Chris Brown trying to move on just like the rest of his teammates are after that tough loss to Baltimore, 13-10, their first ever loss at New Heinz Field, and Brown kicks it off. Return man is Ben Gay. And Gay gets wiped away at the 24-yard line after the gain of 20. Mike Logan, the tackle on special teams. Well, interesting note with Chris Brown, who did miss the 4 field goals last week. Something we talked to Jerome Bettis, and he said, hey, we left Brown alone. He said Brown and Miller, the kicker-punter combination, they're a part of the team. And you played on enough teams to know that that's not always the case.
It's not always the case. In fact, it's outside of the norm. But Chris Brown, he's a special guy. He works with the scout team. You can see 3 of those misses went wide right, but he works on scout team, and they look at him as part of the team because he has to get in the whirlpool after practice because he's working on the scout team, running plays as a receiver.
On a handoff, Jackson with a blocker in front of him and hurdles across the 30-yard line. And a good gain of 8 yards on first down. Lee Flowers with the tackle.
Jackson is the guy that they need to really help, I think, sustain longer drives in this offense. They have the quick passing game with Tim Couch, and the receivers are making plays, but Jackson's going to have to manufacture some yards in the running game. Keep this Cleveland Brown defense off the field. They've been playing way too many snaps per game. And that's per our conversation with the head coach, Butch Davis.
Jackson's longest run of this season, only 22 yards. But he ripped off an 8-yard run, setting up a 2nd and 2. Jackson trying that right side again. And a first down for Cleveland. 4-yard gain out across the 35.
Jackson is getting up slow, and you have to wonder, he's not a real big running back. He's a little nicked up. You can see him hobbling off the field, calling for Jameel White to come onto the football field. But whether it's James Jackson or Jameel White, between the both of them, they're really going to have to keep this offense on the field and try to create a long drive. Their touchdown drive, they started at the Pittsburgh Steelers 49-yard line. They haven't been able to manufacture too many long drives so far this season.
Time winding down here in the first, 34 seconds to play in the quarter. At a 1st and 10, Jameel White does get the call. White had an opening and closed quickly because of the play of Lee Flowers. And White will have to settle for a gain of 2.
And credit Kendrell Bell with the penetration. He blows up the play because he's a blitzing linebacker, and he'll just come right up the middle right here. He'll take out the fullback, Mike Sellers, and that allows the safety, Flowers, to come in and make the tackle.
End of the first quarter. Rivalry from the AFC Central revisited with the Browns and the Steelers in a game that actually has a bearing on the standings. It's nice to see. End of the first. It's 9-3 Cleveland. Ian Eagle, Solomon Wilcots, the rest of our CBS crew with you as we start play in the second quarter. You see the ball control numbers thus far, and Cleveland holds on to it with a 2nd and 8. On the throw to Kevin Johnson out to midfield. Covered by Chad Scott. It picks up 12 yards and a new set of downs for Cleveland to work with. Well, coming up Saturday in primetime, bowl hopes are in the mix when Bobby Bowden's Florida State Seminoles tangle with their in-state rivals, Steve Spurrier and the Florida Gators. For more college football news, go to cbs.sportsline.com. AOL keyword CBS Sportsline. 1st and 10 for the Browns at the 50. Sellers the motion man. On a pitch back, off the flea flicker. And Couch is forced to throw it away. Pressure was coming from Aaron Smith. And too many players had gotten bunched up because of that pressure.
And also the safeties were able to keep their depth. You see Brent Alexander up at the top. This is just a throwback. They're trying to work it to, you can see Kevin Johnson over there, but the pressure was there before the play had a chance to develop.
Maybe taking a page out of the Steelers' offensive playbook as well. They've been the club that have used the gadget plays offensively.
And I like the play calling so far by the offense of the Cleveland Browns. They're keeping this defense for the Pittsburgh Steelers back on their heels, not allowing them to be aggressive and come after the quarterback, Tim Couch.
Now a 2nd and 10, just underway here in the second quarter. On a handoff, Jameel White still in there. White tried to turn the corner and got back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. Dwayne Washington sliding in to help make that stop.
And the tackle, Roman Oben, did a good job against Joey Porter sealing off the corner, allowing the running back to get outside and create some room running. Not too many offenses are quick enough to seal off the corners and run around these very fast outside linebackers for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, last week, Pittsburgh's defense gave up just 41 yards rushing against Baltimore. They come in top-ranked defense overall, top-ranked against the pass, allowing just 11.1 points per game. Cleveland already has 9. And they lead by 6 out of the shotgun. On third down, Couch is forced to roll out and throw. Incomplete. Trent Alexander on a safety blitz. And the Steelers now willing to take some chances defensively and unleash that steel curtain D.
And this is where Butch Davis says Tim Couch has to do a good job of recognizing where the blitz is coming from. That's the hot right there. Brent Alexander coming off the corner, and you have to know where your hot receiver is and make the call and communicate it to your receiver so that he can break off his route. You can get rid of the football as the quarterback.
Chris Gardocki had a beauty on his last attempt. This one is a high punt. Poteet, fair catch called for and brought in cleanly at the 18-yard line. That's where the Steelers will have it after the 32-yard punt. Cleveland in front, 9-3, second quarter.
Morning.
With a lead. Talking about the bus, Pittsburgh used a bus to make their way over to Cleveland, a 2-hour bus ride. I-79 north, I-76 west. Right now, those Steelers offensively not doing much on first down. On again, Bettis. And those numbers won't change much. Brant Boyer making his 8th start in his 8th-year NFL career holds Bettis to a gain of 2. Well, defensively for Cleveland, something you've touched on now, Solomon, how much they've been on the field in recent weeks.
Well, they've been on the field a lot. This 71 snaps per game, that's the most in the National Football League. But you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're the fewest, and that's why they're one of the best teams, only averaging 56 snaps on defense per game. We'll have to see if it plays out here today with this Cleveland Brown defense wearing down against the power running game of Pittsburgh.
And there is the power running game of Bettis, trying to squeeze through a hole, a gain of 3. Orpheus Roy, the former Steeler, once again involved in the stop.
And one other note about the amount of plays this Cleveland Brown defense has been playing. They actually, over the last 3 games, have played an average of 80 or more snaps per game. And we talked to Butch Davis about it. He says that's just way too many. He would prefer that his defense played maybe 65 to 70 snaps a game. And it's a concern of his, particularly as the season wears on. And I think it's up to the Cleveland Brown offense to do a better job keeping them off the field.
Spread the field now, Pittsburgh. Zaraway checks in with Tuamatu Ma'afala. On a 3rd and 4, shotgun formation. Stewart, quarterback keeper. Off the quarterback draw, Cordell Stewart moves the chains out to the 29-yard line. He picked up 6.
This is what Mike Mularkey wants from Cordell Stewart. He said, trust what you see, but if you don't see anything, then make a play. He sees it opens up right to his right side, and he takes the hole and gets going up the field to move the chains.
And he's given Cordell some freedom in 2-minute drill situations, also no huddle situations, to call his own plays.
Calling his own plays, and that's the confidence level that the coaches have right now in Cordell Stewart.
On first down, handoff, Bettis sliding through up the gut. And he picks up 4 yards on first down. Well, for Cordell Stewart to succeed in this offense, Mike Mularkey, the offensive coordinator, has laid out some keys.
And these are the things. He says he wants him to make good decisions. He said, you know what, you have to trust what you see, and that's when he's going to improve right here in his anticipation. But more importantly, leadership. That's the key, and that's what Cordell Stewart is providing for this offense. He's providing the leadership, making plays in key situations for Mike Mularkey and the rest of this Pittsburgh Steelers coaching staff.
And if you are taking note at home, those would be Mularkeys.
That's right.
Nice play on words from our staff. On a pitch, Bettis to the outside. And Jerome Bettis gets across the 35-yard line, and he picks up 2 to the 36. Dalen McCutcheon on that far side, helping to make the stop.
And what you're seeing now from the Pittsburgh Steelers is a very methodical approach of playing smash-mouth football, trying to wear down this Cleveland Brown defense, knowing that they're not going to get much now, but as the game wears on into the 3rd and 4th quarter, you'll see them gaining bigger chunks of yards in the running game.
Hey, keep in mind, the Browns allowed only 70 yards rushing last week, and that loss to Chicago in overtime. Out of the shotgun on a 3rd and 4, rollout and a throw to Bobby Shaw. First down Steelers Out of bounds at the 44. Dalen McCutcheon with the coverage, 9 yards through the air.
And these are the plays when you talk about going back to the days of Chan Gailey, is allowing Cordell Stewart to roll out. And you'll see Shaw working against Dalen McCutcheon, just a rollout. But these are the pass plays that Cordell Stewart is able to execute most, getting the ball out into flat to his wide receivers like Bobby Shaw, who breaks it out. They pick up the first down.
Troy Edwards is really not even part of the mix anymore, rotation-wise, for these receivers. Shaw is the third wideout. Spread the field, though, with 5 receivers. Stewart throwing, low throw, and a diving attempt made by Hines Ward. I tell you what, he comes up with one of those a game.
You know what? You've got to love a football player like Hines Ward. I don't even call him a receiver. He's just a football player, because he can play at so many different positions and do so many different things for you. And talking to Mike Mularkey, he said Hines Ward is the reason why we're able to do so many different things in terms of our gadget plays, because he's a receiver. You know, he can rush the ball, and then his yards after the catch, he's doing really well, and he can get the ball into the end zone. He just grades really high in every category.
In Cleveland territory at the 43. Bettis through a hole. Jerome Bettis. And another first down for Pittsburgh. The bus is spun down at the 25. John Whitman with a smack up front. Key block.
And this is the money side, that left side of the offensive line behind Jeff Hardings, Alan Faneca, and Wayne Gandy. You see it's just man-on-man blocking, and they attack the linebacker, and they just get him right up in the middle right there. And they're able to move this ball because they're so powerful up front on the offensive line. It's just single man-on-man blocking. And Jerome Bettis getting up into the second level and picking up big chunks of yards.
Amos Zaraway gives them a change of pace, and he checks in on a 1st and 10 from the 26. Fake the inside handoff. It's Zaraway trying to break free. And Zaraway finally brought down at the 5-yard line. Amos Zaraway missed last week's game with a separated shoulder.
And again, they're going to that left side. You talk about the change of pace with Amos Zaraway. That's because they have the speed. But you know what? When he gets into the secondary, he's hard to bring down. Percy Ellsworth is the first guy that gets to him. Look, he steps right out of that tackle. And so they're just dominating right now up front in the offensive line. There's 7 men in the box, and they're attacking it, electing to run the ball as opposed to trying to throw it against the 7-man front of the Cleveland Browns.
20-yard run for Zaraway and a 1st and goal from the 6. This drive continues. Stewart up top and over the head of Plexico Burris at 6'5.5". Anthony Henry, talented rookie from South Florida, had the coverage.
And I agree with Cordell Stewart. You can see his disappointment. He says, hey, go for the ball. I'm putting it up on your outside shoulder. Now get height. You're 6'5.5". Get the ball in midair. Go up for it. Give me some effort. And you got to get up for that ball. You have to at least give it a shot.
And that's how you build trust in your quarterback as well, that you'll actually look for him again. Make an effort.
You have to do something to encourage the quarterback to come back to you.
On a 2nd and goal. Zaraway. It's smashed. Orpheus Roy engulfed him from behind, and a loss of 2.
Yeah, Orpheus Roy, he's having a big ball game here today. Getting penetration, and then Jameer Miller, he's shutting it down on the outside. He keeps contained right here, forcing the ball inside. And then when he tries to jump back out, you can see both come in. Jameer Miller from the outside, Orpheus Roy from the inside. Big play to shut down the run play by the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And the 12th play of the drive. Steelers moving in the wrong direction. Now a 3rd and goal from the 8. Zaraway and Fuamatu Ma'afala. Just about parallel with Stewart out of the shotgun. On a pitch, Fuamatu Ma'afala. Driven back. Mark Smith combining with Dalen McCutcheon. And Foch Fazio, Butch Davis's defense, able to hold off the Steelers in the red zone.
And the play was there that time because I thought it was a good enough block by the left tackle, Wayne Gandy. You'll see he'll fan out and he'll seal it out. But it was a poor read by Ma'afala. He's got to get outside right now because the legs of Dalen McCutcheon were not up under him, so he would not have been able to speed to the corner. You have to be more decisive in reading the block by Chris Fuamatu Ma'afala.
And Chris Brown, 27-yard field goal. He is now 15 of 15 in his career against the Cleveland Browns. Has never missed an attempt. And they probably needed those back-to-back field goals to get the confidence percolating again.
They came from every corner of the country, from small towns.
On CBS is sponsored by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. the United States Marine Corps. For 226 years of faithful service, thank you, Marines. Happy birthday. And by Miller Lite. Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
Well, not exactly couch to Santiago, but they'll take it over at local park here in Cleveland. Bill Cowher's team closing the gap. It's 9-6. Mike Sellers, one of the up men, on the return. Another short kick as Sellers is brought down to the 35 by John Fiala. A three-point game with 6:04 to go, second quarter. Butch Davis will turn 50 years of age next week. It's a man that certainly paid his dues. 6 years as a high school football coach, then moving up on Jimmy Johnson's staff at Oklahoma State, Miami, and of course the Dallas Cowboys as well. His team with a 9-6 advantage. Couch takes the snap on a handoff. Jackson, he's got room, and Jackson brought down at the 50-yard line. 14-yard gain as Lee Flowers makes the tackle at midfield.
And this is a well-designed play. It's designed like a leadoff here, but you know what, James, he breaks it back out after they block down on the right side. It's a quick hitting play, allowing him to use his speed and quickness to get to the second level. They just collapsed that entire right side of the line, and Jackson uses his speed. He's 5'10", not very big, 209 pounds, but those are the plays that he's very good at running for this Cleveland Brown offense.
He injured his left ankle earlier in the quarter. They retaped it. He's back out there. And Jackson gets the call again, this time just a yard. Crossing into Pittsburgh territory, and Jason Gilden, first man there.
And those are the plays he has to do a better job at, running in between the tackles. Jason Gilden, of course, very fast and very quick. We know he can rush the passer, but he's really good at playing run defense as well. He just closes down on James Jackson, making the play 1 yard past the line of scrimmage.
And a 2nd and 9 now. 3-receiver look for the Browns. Jackson by himself in the backfield. Long count for Couch. Rush is coming. Couch unloads. High throw. And Quincy Morgan could not bring it in. Dwayne Washington thought he might have a gift. Incomplete.
You wonder why that ball went high. That's because Jason Gilden was closing in from the left side on quarterback Tim Couch. This ball just goes high. Morgan has a chance to get it because it hit him right in the hands and almost landed right in the hands of Dwayne Washington for the interception. You'll see this ball hit right off the hands of Quincy Morgan. Big, tall receiver, expected to go up and make that catch.
Dwayne Washington was one of the guys that was effusive in his praise for Tim Couch. He's been very impressed with Couch now in his 3rd year.
Yeah, he's seen the maturation of Tim Couch over the last 2 years. Now in his 3rd season, he's making huge strides.
On 3rd and 9. Quick throw out to the sideline, and Jamie German is brought down after a gain of 3. Earl Holmes, the linebacker, made sure that German didn't get anywhere close to the first down marker. Browns forced to punt.
And again, another short drive by the Cleveland Brown offense. Now the defense will have to come back out on the field after playing 13 plays in the previous drive by the Pittsburgh Steelers offense.
And here's Gardocki once again. Hank Poteet at his own 11. Gardocki, a high punt. Poteet forced to backpedal a bit, and fair catch at the 6-yard line. 9-6, Cleveland clinging to the 3-point edge.
On CBS is sponsored by DirecTV, the #1 digital satellite entertainment provider, and by Gateway, where you've got a friend in the business.
9-6. Browns lead it. 4:01 to play until halftime. And for the best NFL coverage on the net, including expert analysis, live scoreboards, go to cbs.sportsline.com or AOL keyword CBS Sportsline. Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 7-yard line. Ward is the motion man. Stewart back to throw. Darts one underneath the coverage, and Ward is quickly brought down by Brant Boyer. That's 3 yards through the air. Short passing game for the Steelers on 1st down.
Boyer did a good job of closing in to make the tackle. He's replacing Wally Rayner as the starting middle linebacker today. But Pittsburgh, they haven't had the best field position here in the first half of this football game. But they've managed to claw their way back from a 9-point deficit. So it's incumbent upon this offense to maintain some poise and stick with the game plan Find it out.
3-receiver look. Browns counter with a nickel package on a 2nd and 7. Stewart to throw again. Short drop and a throw to Plexico Burris. Spinning forward out across the 20-yard line, and Ray Jackson had the coverage. That's 11 yards on the pass play.
And that time, you know, Burris showed some courage. He's going inside. He's working against just about all the guys. He has the physical advantage at 6'5.5", 228 pounds. That's a big receiver. See the two starting quarterbacks for Cleveland, both 5'10", Corey Fuller and Dalen McCutcheon. 205 pounds by Corey Fuller, but you can see Burris has a huge height advantage on most of the cornerbacks he's going against in the National Football League.
Running situation on a 1st down. Bettis streamlining through a hole and out to the 25-yard line. Give him a gain of 5.5, maybe 6, depending on the spot. John Whitman, the fullback, with a block.
And now if you're the Cleveland Browns, you want to see your defense shore up against the run and make some plays. You've got to force this offense to go 3 and out. Get the ball back for the Cleveland Brown offense with good field position.
Call it a 2nd and 4 as we come up on the 2-minute warning here in the 2nd quarter. Browns lead by 3. Stewart, look at the protection. Stewart firing. 2nd man there. It's Hines Ward. I don't think this play was designed to him. It went over the head of Mark Bruner.
You know, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, because this pass was intended for Mark Bruner, went right over his head. In fact, I think Bruner even tipped the ball, but look at the time that Cordell Stewart has in the pocket. Becoming much better passer in the pocket, but it goes over the head of Bruner right into the waiting arms of Hines Ward.
15 yards on the pass and catch, and we have hit 2 minutes on the clock. 9-6, Cleveland leading Pittsburgh. Steelers have the ball when we come back.
Okay, the coast is clear.
Good. Listen to
Coming up, the Nextel halftime report. Join Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry. All the scores and highlights and the latest NFL news, plus a CBS News update. America fights back. That's coming up on the Nextel halftime report. Even 2 minutes to go until halftime. Cleveland up 9-6. Steelers have the football, a 1st and 10 at their own 41.
And they're marching once again, looking to go on another long drive. Their last drive, 13 plays, so they're racking up the plays, and you know what? They're eating up the clock as well. They're just marching up and down the field.
First 2 drives had a tough time getting the offense going. That has not been the case in their last 3 drives. And on 1st down, Stewart. Here's the rush. Stewart, safety valve is Zaraway, and he is spun down after a modest gain of 2 by Percy Ellsworth. Clock is moving, 1:48 left.
I'm impressed with the poise of Cordell Stewart. Even under pressure, he's able to make throws.
Earl Little is on his back, the strong safety. A timeout has been taken. We'll step aside. Flags come down.
Oh, say, can I have the new software?
Some concern right now for Earl Little. The starting strong safety is on his back. He missed the 2nd half of last week's game with muscle cramps in that loss to Chicago. There was some extracurricular activity following the play, and that's when we saw the flags. First flag that we have seen so far today. Cleveland charged a timeout because of the injury.
You can see they're holding his head still. Hope it's not a serious injury. You can see there's the block right there on Earl Little, and he just drops right there. The block is made by Hines Ward. You can only hope for the best in this case as they're holding the helmet of Earl Little.
Now, the flag did not come down on that hit. I think the Browns had something to say to Hines Ward following it, and that's when we saw the penalty marker.
Well, Hines Ward is a very clean football player. He gets very active in terms of blocking downfield on running plays, and he's been a guy that really prides himself in making blocks. Had a hit last week on the Ravens' Rod Woodson that he was very proud of, and that's what the coaches ask of their receivers, is to come out and get blocks. But you can see this right now doesn't look too good.
Bring the stretcher onto the field for Earl Little, now in his 4th year in the NFL. We'll come back to Cleveland in a moment.
We pitted Castrol Syntec 1030 against the leading
Cleveland 9, Pittsburgh 6. The medical staff for the Cleveland Browns currently attending to Earl Little, the strong safety, as they attempt to lift him off his back onto the stretcher. They've made that move.
And I guess the good news would be that we did see some movement in the lower extremities by Earl Little as he was moving his legs, but holding his helmet still. Hopefully this is just a precautionary measure and that Earl Little will be okay. We can only hope.
We'll take another look at it with Earl Little getting that block from Hines Ward.
Yeah, Little is in pursuit, but here's the hit right there by Ward. Didn't hit him in the helmet, but he caught him. I don't think Earl Little ever saw him coming. But that's just a, it's not even a crack block. It's just hard effort by Hines Ward attempting to make the block to free up Amos Zaraway.
Little, native of Miami, Florida, attended the University of Miami, played for Butch Davis there. He was a member of the Saints, waived by them in 1999, and the Browns picked him up.
When you see one of your teammates in this position, you of course feel for him and your prayers go out to him, and you have to quickly refocus on the game. And the fact that he can put a thumbs up, and you saw some movement. You even try to go over and see if your teammate can talk to you, and that at least allows you to feel a little bit better about the fact that he can recover from this. And then you have to quickly refocus.
Absolutely.
And get back to playing football.
Will be a first down.
Dick Hantak makes the call. A taunting foul was assessed on the Cleveland Browns. Corey Fuller. So 15 yards changes the complexion here at the 42-yard line. This took place after the play.
You see Corey Fuller right here, and he's getting in the face of Hines Ward. Didn't like the hit Ward put on his teammate Earl Little.
And the first flag of the game. We resume play with 1:47 to go. First half. Handoff. Zaraway trying to cut it to the outside. And brought down after a gain of 1. Devin Bush, who is Earl Little's replacement at safety, able to make that stop.
And Devin Bush is more than capable. Was a starter for the St. Louis Rams a year ago. And he's going to, of course, have to fill in for Little, but he's certainly more than capable.
And now here's Stewart checking off on a 2nd and 9 from the 41. Zaraway gets the call again. Driven back. Mark Smith denied him as another flag comes down. 1:14 to go, second quarter.
And if you're Cleveland, you have to keep your poise here. You don't like when your teammates get hurt, but you don't want to hurt your football team by drawing a flag.
This one against Pittsburgh. So Dick Hantak made the call earlier on the Browns, and now it's Hines Ward ranging over to make his case. Here's the veteran referee, Dick Hantak.
Personal foul. Offense, number 86.
Yep.
Unnecessary roughness. Below the head, 15 yards. Repeat the down. Second down.
Now, obviously, Hines Ward with some emotion here, picking up where he left off with Fuller.
He's trying to retaliate against Fuller. You see Fuller's getting physical, but Ward, you have to let it go at this point because he turns around and he just hits Devin Bush. He knows that the players may want to come after him, but they're going to do it between the snap and before the whistle blows. So this is a heated rivalry. These two teams, that's obvious. They don't like one another, but they have to quit with the extracurricular activities going on after the whistle.
Little flip. Zaraway from Cordell, able to make up that yardage. Facing a 2nd and 24, Corey Fuller makes the stop. They picked up 13. One bit of news, we just found out Earl Little, they are listing it as a concussion. There is movement, and he is being evaluated. So you don't normally say that concussion is good news, but in this case it is.
Yeah, it beats the alternative because the way he fell after being hit, there was great concern for the health of Earl Little, and it's really good to hear that he'll be fine.
Timeout taken with 55 seconds to go until we hit halftime. And don't forget, coming up, Nextel halftime report. Jim Nance, Randy Cross, Mike Ditka, Jerry Glanville. They'll have all the scores and highlights for you, latest NFL news, and a CBS News update. America Fights Back. That's coming up on the Nextel halftime report. Well, maybe the bigger surprise is that it took this long for spirits to get fired up a bit between these two teams. Waning moments of the second quarter.
But you have to control your emotions. You know it's a heated rivalry, but you can't hurt your football team. You can't allow the other team to advance the ball by 15 yards because you make a foolish mistake. I think you have to maintain some poise, always be a professional, and play good, clean football. Don't hurt your football team.
Last time these two teams met, October of last year. Pittsburgh with a 23-0 victory. Their defense allowed just 5 Cleveland first downs. Browns already have 8 first downs today. This is a 3rd and 10. Stewart under a rush. Avoids it. Stewart throwing on the run. Puts it up in the air. Knocked up and incomplete. Troy Edwards with Anthony Henry. Henry getting a piece.
Troy Edwards is another first-round pick by the Pittsburgh Steelers 2 years ago that continues to struggle. The ball is deflected by Henry. This ball's thrown just a little bit behind Edwards, but he's got to make that catch. I know his vision was sort of disrupted there, but the ball hits him right in the hands, and these are the plays that you're paid to make in big-time games in the National Football League.
And that may have been a graze from the rookie Anthony Henry. If he got any of it, it was very little. It'll take a bounce and roll inside the 5. Downed at the 1 by Deshae Townsend. So the Steelers earlier had to deal with starting a drive at their own 1-yard line. This time Josh Miller has turned the tables on Cleveland. You can log on to NFL.com, vote for the AFC and NFC All-Stars to play in the 2002 Pro Bowl. Vote now only at NFL.com, AOL keyword NFL.com. Now Tim Couch takes the field. Only 37 seconds remaining first half.
And you have to be careful with the football if you're the Cleveland Browns in this situation. Inside your own 5-yard line, 37 seconds left. Unlikely that you're going to be able to do anything in terms of put points on the board, but you don't want to give any to Pittsburgh in this situation.
They crowd the line and just try to move it forward. And now time will expire here at the end of the first half. Unless Pittsburgh wants to use a timeout and force Cleveland to do it again. Down to 18 seconds left. Coward takes off the headset. And they will head to the locker room in a 9-6 game. Steelers enter action at 5-2. The Browns at 4-3. Winner will be in first place in the AFC Central, at least until Baltimore plays tomorrow. End of the first half. Cleveland with a 9-6 advantage over Pittsburgh. We'll send you to Jim Nantz in New York. Next halftime report is coming up after these messages and a word from your local station.
CBS Monday. Catch comedy that's out of...
Halftime here in Cleveland. The Browns leading the Steelers 9-6 in a matchup from the AFC Central. We welcome you back. Cleveland Browns Stadium. Ian Eagle along with Solomon Wilcots. Going into this matchup, I think both of us were curious to see if there would be any carryover from last week's devastating losses for both of these clubs. But early on, you couldn't see anything different from what these teams normally try to do. They're playing their games.
Well, what we did see was the carryover by the Cleveland Brown defense for the second straight week. It's their defense that comes out and make a play at the beginning of the game to put the Browns on the scoreboard. Just an incredible play against the Pittsburgh Steelers power running game when they stuffed Jerome Bettis in the end zone to get the safety to put their team on top in the scoreboard first.
And you know, with Bettis, that's a hit to his ego. He'll even admit to it. I mean, that's
right.
Something he doesn't expect to see. Coming out of the end zone, Bettis expects to get himself 3-4 yards.
And they're running behind that left side, but Orpheus Roy, number 99, is able to come in and make the tackle on Jerome Bettis. I think it really shocked this Pittsburgh Steelers offensive football team, the fact that they can go to their bread and butter, their power running game behind Alan Faneca, Wayne Gandy on that left side, and to get stuffed in the backfield. That's not what they want coming out of this game.
And after that, Cleveland offensively was able to find a rhythm with Tim Couch. Pinpoint accuracy, including a touchdown to O.J. Santiago. Santiago had dropped one earlier, a pass play, and then makes up for it in the end zone.
And give Couch credit going back to the tight end, O.J. Santiago. It really was the passing game for the Cleveland Browns that really helped them to control the ball earlier in this game because they were moving up and down the field with the quick, short passes of Tim Couch. He's doing a good job of reading this Pittsburgh Steelers defense, and we know they can get after the quarterback so far today. They've really kept Couch standing on his legs where he's been able to make some plays in the pocket against this Pittsburgh Steelers. #1 ranked pass defense in the National Football League.
Let's not disregard, though, the second quarter, because that's when the Steelers went with their own ball control. Chris Brown bouncing one towards the sideline, and a penalty flag. Brown has had his problems today, not on field goal attempts. He's 2 of 2, but on kickoffs.
Out of bounds. By rule, we'll place the ball at the 40-yard line. First down, Cleveland.
So Cleveland with excellent field position to start out this second half from the 40. And Brown had headaches of a different sort a week ago. This week it's been focused more on the kickoffs.
Yeah, and you can see this game is being played very close. Look at the first downs. 10-8 Pittsburgh Steelers, but very close. The rushing yards, we know the bus in Pittsburgh can run the ball, but really I think Cleveland's done a good job hitting on some quick running plays. 40 yards rushing in the first half. Time of possession, of course, in favor of the Pittsburgh Steelers by 5 minutes or more.
And a 1st and 10 for this Cleveland offense from the 40. Play action, nice fake by Couch, but the rush coming, and Kendrell Bell, the rookie out of Georgia who has made a name for himself very early in his NFL career.
And wow, Tim Couch held onto this ball. He had Kevin Johnson matched up against the safety Lee Flowers running up the sideline. He's got to get rid of the football. Kendrell Bell, he can close very fast. You can see ball has to come out right now because Couch had a man wide open on top of the safety running up the left sideline.
5th sack of the year for Bell. 1st sack of the day for this Pittsburgh defense that came in leading the AFC with 27. And a 10-yard loss. 2nd and 20. Shotgun formation. Couch throwing on a slant. Turning. Trying to the outside is Kevin Johnson. But the Steeler defense would not let him free. 4-yard gain as he was working on Chad Scott.
And I asked Bruce Arians, the offensive coordinator for the Cleveland Browns, I said, your offensive line hasn't been known to overpower anyone in terms of your ability to run the football. How do you plan on moving the ball against this defense? He says, you know, we have to keep them off balance. We have a quick passing game, and Tim Couch has been operating very, very fine in this offense. And you can give Bruce Arians the credit for really bringing Tim Couch along, but they're in 3rd and long right now. Haven't been too successful all year long in this situation.
Steelers were showing blitz, movement, and it's just a question of who. Steelers pointing in Cleveland's direction. Let's get the call.
False start. Offense, number 66. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
It's Jeremy McKinney who has stepped in to replace the injured Trey Johnson out for the year with a knee injury.
It'll be the right guard right here. That's McKinney. See some movement right there. See, he jumps. Just as the defense is closing in, showing what they're doing on 3rd down, where they give you a lot of zone blitz looks.
Now a 3rd and 21 from the 29. This drive started at the 40. Here's Couch, plenty of time. Floats one over the middle and dropped by White. It was off to the side just a bit. Not one of Couch's better passes today. And the Browns are forced to punt. 1st possession, 3rd quarter.
And you don't want to go 3 and out coming out to begin the first half. The poor kickoff by Chris Brown gave the Browns really good field position. They're not able to do anything with it. Just a poor showing right there. They had some opportunities on that possession.
Gardocki with his 4th punt of the day. Hank Poteet is waiting. Poteet has some room to work with. From the 22, Poteet angling towards the outside, and Poteet is brought down as he crossed the 35. 50-yard punt, a 14-yard return. 9-6, Cleveland with a lead. Steelers have the football.
Free to move about the country.
Never let it go. Be original, an individual, like Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. Dr. Pepper, be you, do what
Garth's new album, Scarecrow, is available November 13th, wherever great music is sold.
When I was at Florida State, primetime was always pumped up for Florida. This year, get ready for a wild romp in the swamp. Primetime next Saturday on CBS.
Prohibited.
After the slow start offensively, Steelers have woken up a bit. And Bill Cowher's team controlled that second quarter, but they still trail on the scoreboard 9-6. First possession of the second half for Pittsburgh. On a handoff, Bettis at 13 carries, 69 yards in the first half. He picks up 2 on his first carry of the third quarter. Tyrone Rogers with the stop. Couple updates on injuries. Earl Little will not return. X-rays, though, did come back negative, and that's a good sign for Little. And Mike Logan, a neck injury that he suffered in the first half. He plays in the dime package for Pittsburgh defensively, and Logan will not return. He is out of pads.
Yeah, they have a number of players who can come in that dime situation on third down and play really excellently for the Pittsburgh Steelers defense.
Second, short 8, pump fake. Stewart running. Stewart's got room. Cordell Stewart, it's a sprint out. Stewart crossing the 25 and then bang down hard at the 21.
And boy, did he ever get a good block by Jerome Bettis on the linebacker, Jameer Miller. Watch, you'll see Bettis. He'll come and he'll seal off the corner. That's what allows Cordell Stewart to get outside. And he is still one of the fastest quarterbacks in the National Football League in a foot race with a very fast linebacker. You see Dwayne Rudd reaching out. Rudd is able to poke the ball out, but excellent play call.
40-yard run for Stewart. Quick out for the tight end, Mark Bruner. And a short gainer of 3 on first down. They were trying to catch Cleveland napping as they hurried to the line. Devin Bush had the coverage. Shades of 1997. Cordell Stewart in a foot race down the sideline.
Well, he's given every opportunity to make a number of plays. They said they really tailored this offense to suit his abilities, and there you see the example. Cordell is not only able to make the passes now, but he can still hurt you with his leg. He's a better pocket passer than he's been in the last couple of years, but once he gets outside, he can still do some damage.
2nd and 7 from the 19. Stewart on the draw play, Bettis. Jerome Bettis having a tough time. A gain of 1. Jameer Miller was the first man there, and then white jerseys galore coming in to deal with the bus.
Have you ever seen such a violent 1-yard run where he's bouncing off so many defenders? I should say they're actually bouncing off of him, but he's so rugged, and he gives you every bit of what he has and when he runs the football.
And Solomon, what did he tell us last night? We asked him about this Cleveland defense. He said, I see the same guys, but on film, they look faster than years ago.
He said all 11 guys are getting to the football, something you see with some of the top defenses in the National Football League.
On 3rd and 6, Stewart has the time. Stewart throwing it up for grabs. Incomplete. Hines Ward in double coverage.
Not necessarily a good decision that time, I don't think, by Cordell Stewart, because Ward's covered. He's covered from the inside by Corey Fuller. You see from the outside there, you see number 57, Dwayne Rudd, coming in. They were closing in. He was covered all the way there. You have to go somewhere else with the football or tuck it and run it yourself. But now Chris Brown is once again being called on to kick a field goal.
36-yard attempt. Brown leans into it and just got it through. It was angling towards the right. And Brown, who had his problems in that direction a week ago, has not had any difficulties so far today. Yeah, that's a look that you get for Steelers Browns. 9-9.
Cold one.
There's cold, and then there's Coors Light. Frost brewed for that Rocky Mountain cold taste.
When you're ready for a cold one, it's gotta be a cold Coors Light.
He was arrested during a rescue attempt. He'll be executed tomorrow morning.
He broke the first rule of espionage.
He took matters into his own hands.
To save him, his partner's going to break them all.
I don't care what it takes. I'm getting him out.
We got zero room for error.
Robert Redford.
They know.
They don't know.
They'll be waiting.
Brad Pitt.
Coming home.
Get out of the way!
Spy Game. Rated R. At theaters Wednesday, November 21st.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36. Burger King, home of the Whopper. And by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge.
Deadlocked at 9-9. Early stages, third quarter. Pittsburgh kicking off, and Brown with his best kick of the day. Jamel White, the return man. White leaves his feet and lands just short of the 25. A 22-yard return for Jamel White. Lindsey Jackson in on the coverage. Chris Brown, 3 of 3 today in his career, now 16 of 16 against the Cleveland Browns. And the offense with a chance to get some rest on the sideline as the Pittsburgh defense takes the field. A 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line for Cleveland.
And you can see Cleveland coming out. They've got one wide receiver, actually 2 receivers in the game, but they've been coming out with quick passing on first down. It's been working for them so far.
Motion man is Sellers. On a handoff, James Jackson stumbles forward for a gain of 2. Lee Flowers combining with Kendrell Bell. Well, during training camp, Kendrell Bell opened some eyes around the Pittsburgh Steelers players and coaching staff. Fill us in.
Well, you know what? When you come in as a rookie, the one thing most rookies aren't willing to do is hit the star, and that's Jerome Bettis. Many of the players say we knew he was a good player and a top-notch player when he hit Jerome Bettis in the mouth the first day of training camp. Made a huge statement.
Bill Cowher made the same comment to us yesterday in our meeting. Great grab by Kevin Johnson. Chad Scott had the coverage, and Johnson had to go back across his body to bring that one in. Brought down at the 34-yard line. 7.5 yards, 8 maybe. It might be just a bit shy, though, of a first down.
It's a very difficult catch by Kevin Johnson, and I think he has the first down if Tim Couch leads him properly like you're supposed to. Throw the ball out in front of the receiver, allow him to go down and get it, but Johnson had to reach back for that ball, but still they make it just by the nose of the football.
So this drive will continue.
You'll see this ball's thrown just behind there. You can see he's knocked back by the cornerback, Chad Scott. You have to throw that ball down low where he can go down and get it, continue his forward momentum.
Tell you what, they gave him a heck of a spot to the 34-yard line. Clock is moving, 9:45 to play in the third. Browns with a 1st and 10. Steelers crowd the line. Here they come. Bell was blocked off. Couch throwing it up for grabs and incomplete. Into double coverage. Jackson had the block.
And Bell closes so quickly on the quarterback. They have this blitz picked up, but he almost gets right by the running back, James Jackson. He's able to knock him off stride. Tim Couch, he's able to get the ball out, but some miscommunication between he and the wide receiver up the field. But Kendrell Bell, he really, I think, poses a threat. Whenever he's rushing the quarterback, he does so many things well as a linebacker.
On 2nd and 10 now from the 34. Couch fires it out. Kevin Johnson curling inside, short of a first down. Chad Scott again with the coverage. They'll give him a gain of 9. And Couch to Johnson has been the combination so far in the third quarter for Cleveland.
And the key that time, Chad Scott was able to make the tackle after the catch by Kevin Johnson, not allowing them to pick up the first down. Once again, Cleveland's facing a 3rd down situation where they have to convert in order to keep that defense off the field. Big play right here for the Cleveland Browns offense.
On a 3rd and 1. Morgan goes in motion. Couch has the protection. Slings it to the sideline. Catch made by Sellers. First down, Cleveland. At the 49-yard line. That's good for 7 yards through the air.
And earlier in the first quarter, we saw Mike Sellers drop a pass from Tim Couch. And we said he was pretty good at catching the ball out of the backfield. Here he shows us he's working against the safety, Brent Alexander. It's well-timed, well-designed play by the Cleveland Brown offense. We're able to get the ball out very quickly. Sellers makes the catch and keeps that defense off the field. No one's more happier than the Cleveland Brown defense that they were able to pick up the first down.
10th first down for Cleveland. And flags come down. There have not been many penalties so far today, just 3 of them.
False start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's Ross Verba, the former Packer, who was initially slotted into play on the right side of the line opening day, but they made changes and started him at left guard against Seattle. That's where he's remained.
The Browns have already been fortunate once in this drive. We saw Jeremy McKinney. He jumped off sides. But you can't keep having this happen, forcing yourself into 1st and 15 situations. It's real difficult for the offense to convert.
That's what they're facing right now on the ground. And James Jackson is driven backwards by Earl Holmes, a loss of 2.
And they're trying to maybe go away from some of their earlier tendencies in the football game. This Cleveland Brown offense had come out showing us a lot of passes on first down, and now they're going back to the running game, which really hasn't worked for Bruce Arians in this offense. But he says, you know what, we have to try to run the football. He said, we know we're not going to be as productive as we would like to be, but just to keep the tendencies from being so one-sided in the passing game, he says we have to give the running game an opportunity to work.
Now a 2nd and 17. Steelers drop back into coverage and a collision at the 45. Flag comes down. Morgan and Dwayne Washington.
And this flag comes down late. Dwayne Washington told us he was going to jump inside on some of those short passing routes. He said he was going to squat at about 5 yards. He had studied this passing game on film, and there you see he makes a play, but he even admits, shaking his head, that he may have gotten there early.
Personal foul. Defense, number 50, unnecessary roughness.
Ooh.
15 yards, previous spot. First down.
Second man through is Earl Holmes, who may have taken it one step too far on the hit.
And that's why Washington was shaking his hand. He said, okay, you didn't get me. He said it was a good play, but there you see, I don't know if you can hold up on that play.
Take a listen to Earl Holmes meeting Quincy Morgan. To me, that's a bang-bang play, no?
But you know what? The officials are saying that he was in a defenseless position, and it was a hit to the head.
Well, there
it's
you
something
go.
That they've continued to talk about all season long.
You cross that line when you go helmet to helmet. And this time it cost Earl Holmes. Handoff. Jackson unable to shed that second wave of the Pittsburgh defense. Dwayne Washington able to get him down low after the gain of 2.
Jackson loses his balance. Excellent move to get to the outside. Earl Holmes overran the play coming down inside. Jackson doing a good job of bouncing outside, but lost his footing out there where he fell down. But Holmes has been a real leader for this defensive football team in the absence of Levon Kirkland, helping with younger players like Kendrell Bell and the outside linebackers as well. One of the best linebacking corps in the National Football League.
2nd and 8 now for Cleveland. Couch had it knocked down at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 8 upcoming.
And it's a good thing that ball was knocked down. Chad Scott had really jumped the route and had jammed inside of the receiver. And he was in line to maybe intercept this ball. You see Jason Gilden's able to get a hand up and knock that ball down. They know they're going to go with the quick passing route. Very difficult to get the sack on Tim Couch when it's 3-step drop and he's letting the ball go. So the defensive line is going to have to do a better job getting their hands up. But here they go. They're faced with that 3rd down play once again, where you can see the yards. They've averaged 7.9 yards on 3rd down. Not good.
Their problems on 3rd down have been well documented. Can they convert on a 3rd and 8? Couch has the time. Couch throws. Complete. Makes the connection to Jamie German. And a first down as he was forced out of bounds at the 30-yard line. It covers 10 yards.
And this is what they wanted from Tim Couch, to know who your hot receiver is. This is the best matchup. He's working against a safety right here. That's Brent Alexander, and Jamie German able to get separation You know, safeties aren't too adept in bump and run situation. That's why he's able to get some room to allow Tim Couch to complete the pass.
New set of downs for Cleveland to work with. German, who played for Butch Davis at the University of Miami, former Atlanta Falcon. 10th play of the drive, and Couch wants a timeout. Stops the clock with 6:23 to go in the third. It's been a long drive for Butch Davis's club in a tie ball game at 9.
Then I had that taste.
The new grill. Next Sunday, NFL on CBS features regional excitement. One matchup, the Jets taking on the Miami Dolphins. AFC East Bash. Peyton Manning leads the Colts against Ricky Williams and the Saints, or Flutie and the Chargers take on Rich Gannon and the Raiders. Check your local listings, beginning with Jim, Jerry, Randy, Mike, Marcus, Leslie, and Dion on the NFL Today. Go to NFL.com for more. Here's Couch after the timeout. On a flip towards the flat, O.J. Santiago is met quickly by Gilden. And a short gainer of just 2 yards.
And what athletes the Pittsburgh Steelers have at linebacker. We see all the time. Jason Gilden, he's a guy that's going to put his hand on the ground and come in and rush the quarterback. But to see him make tackles like this in pass coverage just tells you about the versatility of many of the linebackers on the Pittsburgh Steelers defense.
Well, Gilden led all NFL linebackers with 13.5 sacks last year. He's been held to 3 this year, but then Joey Porter on the other side has picked up the slack with 7 sacks this season.
And they really help one another because they both come after the quarterback. You can't really focus more on one than the other.
On 2nd and 8, Couch, nobody there in the backfield, and Gilden came firing through.
You call his name and he answers, and he just comes in unblocked. They slide the line. We talk about the presence of Joey Porter up top. You can see right here, but Gilden will come in from the bottom unblocked. No one is paying attention to Jason Gilden, a guy who led this team in sacks 1 year ago with 13.5.
I think Earl Holmes is looking for a half a sack there.
He wants part of it, there's no doubt.
That's a full sack for Gilden.
Give me some, sure.
It's a loss of 7 and may have pushed Cleveland out of field goal range. Does this turn out to be a costly sack and a costly mistake by the Cleveland offense? 3rd and 15. Can they make up the yardage? Quick throw. Catch made by Johnson and spun down to the 25 by Scott. They get back a lot of that yardage, and now they will give Phil Dawson an opportunity to put Cleveland in front.
And Couch does the right thing. He reads the hot receiver because they were bringing both the nickel and dime defensive backs off the corner. Johnson slants in, but Chad Scott makes the tackle, and that's the key. No yards after the catch. So now they're forced to go for a field goal. Good football being played right now by players on both sides of the ball.
40-yard attempt for Phil Dawson. Gardocki will hold it. Ryan Keel will snap it. Browns looking for the lead. Dawson bangs it through. Cleveland in front, 12-9. 4:20 to go in the third quarter. We'll come back to Cleveland Browns Stadium after this.
Is sponsored by Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. And by Norelco, for an unexpectedly close shave, guaranteed. Put it to the test.
Sun is shining, but it's been a cool, crisp afternoon here in Cleveland, Ohio. Browns 12, Steelers 9. Most important game that these two teams have played since the 1994 season. Maybe the most important game Cleveland has played since re-entering the league in 1999. Off the kickoff, Hank Poteet remaining on his feet. Poteet looking to double back the other way. Poteet's in trouble. Flag down. And finally they contain him at the 19-yard line. Raymond Jackson in on the coverage.
Poteet ran about 50 yards the wrong way, only gaining actually 1 yard on the play.
Flag came down as the Steelers were trying to create some extra space for Poteet as he circled around the other way. Here's Dick Hantak.
Face mask on the kicking team, number 34. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, they get the bonus 5 yards because Poteet kept that play alive.
And that's the get out of jail free card because they had him hemmed in down in his end of the field, and the penalty on Gay lets him out. See Gay coming right over the top. It's an inadvertent face mask, but you have to applaud the effort. He failed in his execution.
1st and 10 from the 23 for Pittsburgh, now trailing by 3 here in the third. Bettis looking for a running lane. And Bettis picks up 3 yards. Jameer Miller combining with Dwayne Rudd to make that stop. Well, our weekly NFL.com poll question: what has been the most surprising aspect of the 2001 season so far? We've got a number of different storylines to choose from, including Tom Brady, the Bears' overtime wins, Vikings struggling, including their star Randy Moss. Strength in the AFC Central. The Niners are back. The Pack, they're back. You can vote and cast it at NFL.com. On 2nd and 8, Stewart guns it. Finds the open man, but Bruner cannot bring it in. Incomplete.
Grant Boyer was the linebacker dropping in coverage, but this is a good throw by Cordell Stewart. Mark Bruner has to haul this in. I think he's one of the best tight ends in the National Football League when you talk about blocking at the point of attack. But if he really is going to help this offense, he's got to make this catch. You can see it's right in there, right in the basket, but it gets out.
That's the 3rd Pittsburgh drop of the day. Now a 3rd and 8, and these fans have come alive. Stewart from the shotgun. Rush is coming. Stewart steps up and throws. Hines Ward able to catch it for a first down at the 35-yard line. They got 11 on it.
And that's just like Cordell Stewart. When in trouble, you go to your bailout guy. Hines Ward, he makes the play. He'll just curl in under the cornerback, Anthony Henry, right in this area right there. You can see, and then he turns right upfield. Even though he knows the linebacker, Jameer Miller, is going to come give him a hit, he still has the courage to turn up, make sure he's picking up the first down.
5th catch of the day for Ward. Last week put up big numbers. 9 receptions, career high 97 yards. And a first down. Stewart, pump fake. Stewart, long ball throw. Plexico Burris out there. And Anthony Henry able to knock it away.
Anthony Henry makes an excellent play. He's one of your taller cornerbacks on this football team. You can see he's fighting for position. He goes up at its highest point and gets to the football, and that's what you have to do. And I don't see Burris trying to work back inside to make a play on the ball. Every pass in the National Football League is not going to be thrown perfect, and you have to fight for the ball just like the defender did. That time, Anthony Henry won the battle.
2nd and 10 now for Pittsburgh. Clock is stopped. 2:34 to go in the 3rd. 12-9, Browns leading. Stewart in the pocket. Cordell on a dump off for Bettis. Bettis dancing. And Bettis is tackled down at the 36. He spikes the football after Jameer Miller made the play. No gain. Let's get an NFL Today update. We're going to New York and Jim Nance.
Well, what a day Marvin Harrison is having for the Colts, and what a quarter as well. His 2nd touchdown catch of the 3rd quarter, 3rd of the game, 40-yard hookup with Manning to bring the Colts back from 7 down to now 7 in front. Back to you, Ryan.
Well, Jim, the injuries to Edgerrin James, now to Dominique Rhodes. Peyton Manning, they're relying on the passing game.
Same offense you see the Cleveland Browns running here with Bruce Arians coming over from the Colts to this Cleveland Brown football team, and Tim Couch is emerging. Not quite where Peyton Manning is yet.
On 3rd and long, is it a gadget play? Let's see. Zaraway on the other side of the field. Zaraway creating. He's got a first down, and now it's a foot race. Amos Zaraway trying to tear his way into the end zone and stumbles just short. Corey Fuller among those chasing him down. Everything went right until Stewart was able to throw it left to Zaraway.
That's right, and the block by Alan Faneca, you can't say enough about. Pittsburgh Steelers do have a player down on the play, but Amos Zaraway, he was looking to take it to the house. He only makes it to the front porch, but what an effort play by Amos Zaraway, really doing a good job of setting up the block. And watch Faneca, he'll get out. You can see Cordell Stewart setting up the play also, but Faneca, he's working against Percy Ellsworth. You see him reading the block. He picks up 2 right there, and Zaraway breaks free to the 2nd level, and it's a race to the end zone where he'll make it inside the 5-yard line before he's caught by Corey Fuller.
Nearly took it the distance. And Zaraway comes up just a little bit short, but as mentioned, injury on the field, and they have now helped Hines Ward to his sit upright position. We'll update that in a moment. 50-yard pass play to Amos Zaraway. That is the longest play of the season for this Pittsburgh offense. Quick update on Hines Ward. He is on his feet. It's being listed as a right shoulder contusion, and he will return. 3 tight end formation. On a 1st and goal from the 2. Stewart looking to throw. Cordell now coming back the other way. Stewart trying to run it. Tries for the angle. Did he lose the football before? He did. Tyrone Rogers heads up play. Just short of the goal line.
Wow. Can Tyrone Rogers ever move for a big defensive lineman? He was closing in on Cordell Stewart. And look at the big guy just lumbering. But it's the effort that he makes. Cordell holding the ball in the wrong hand. You have to move that ball over to the outside hand, but Tyrone Rogers makes a great play. You don't see too many defensive linemen with that agility.
Spot at the half-yard line.
Out of bounds at the half-yard line, and Tyrone Rogers just saved 6. Stewart appeared to have the angle if he could have dove forward.
And he has to hold that ball in the other hand. If that ball is in his left hand, Cordell gets into the end zone without any problem. But they're gonna test this to see. I don't know what they're going to see right now because they've thrown out the flag. The Cleveland Browns have. They want to review.
Now, did that ball go out of bounds in the end zone? Butch Davis might be looking at this right now. Dick Hantak will update us.
Is challenging the call on the field. Will fumble it out of bounds at the half-yard line.
It appears that that ball went through the end zone and out of bounds. And that would mean a touchback. That would be a touchback. It's an important call. Let's see how they review it.
Very much so. As we took a look at that angle, it's tough to tell if the ball squirted out of bounds as it crossed the plane, and it looks out of bounds to me on the other side of that pylon.
It sure does. It's going to be interesting to see how they view it. You could see the ball's knocked out, but it hits Cordell Stewart's other hand, and that punches it past the goal line. He knocks it out with his left hand. He's the last guy to touch it, but it goes through the end zone. We'll just have to see how the officials are viewing it.
Well, this is just such a pivotal call. And on that angle, it appeared that it curled inside the pylon. You're talking about the difference between a 2nd and goal from the half-yard line or a fumble into the end zone resulting in the ball going back the other way to the 20.
It's really interesting, and that's where you have to play every play as hard as you can right through the finish. I hate to say that Cordell Stewart relaxed at the end of that play, but certainly did not do a good job of securing the football. Have to put the ball in the other hand, and there's no way that Tyrone Rogers would have been able to knock the ball out.
Again, Cordell Stewart, that play started on the right side. He doubled back to the left and was trying to find that angle. It looked like he had it until Rogers knocked the ball free, and then it was almost like in basketball, double tick.
Yeah, it was a double tick. You can see if he has that ball in the other hand, there's no way Rogers is able to get to it, and that would be a touchdown.
A touchback.
Had he was able to secure the football and secure it in the other hand, Cordell Stewart walks in and he scores a touchdown.
Absolutely.
So you have to really secure that football in that situation.
Such a critical call right now from Dick Hantak. Butch Davis on a coach's challenge.
After reviewing the play, the quarterback fumbled the ball in the field of play, then hit the ball with his left hand into and out of bounds in the end zone. It is a touchback.
And there you go. The Cleveland Browns challenge the play, and they benefit from instant replay. It's going out to the 20 and a turnover.
You have to give credit to Butch Davis because he was certainly aware of the situation and was able to get the red flag out in time to review it, and now it comes back to haunt the Pittsburgh Steelers. The football coaches always say when you try hard and you put forth a great effort and finish off every play, you'll be rewarded. And that's what we saw in the play made by Tyrone Rogers, who really gave you a great effort. You'll see one more time who has the greater effort. Tyrone Rogers looking to strip the ball. Cordell has to secure the ball, but that left hand comes and knocks the ball through the end zone and out of bounds. And as we said, it results in to a touchback. Cleveland Browns take over the football at their own 20-yard line.
Circle this in your head. 48 seconds left in the third. Pittsburgh was looking to go out in front of the Cleveland Browns. They turn it over after a very strange sequence. Browns take over. 1st and 10 from the 20. Second effort, James Jackson, and he cannot get to the line of scrimmage. Porter and Smith collaborating, and a loss of 2. Now the Pittsburgh defense trying to rise to the challenge after the offense turned it over.
And right now, Gilden making his presence felt because he's been in the backfield most of the second half here. He's getting back there, getting good penetration, and really disrupting the flow of this Cleveland Browns offense, whether it's blowing up run plays or putting pressure on Tim Couch.
2-second difference, play clock and game clock, so the Browns have to run a play here at the end of the third quarter. On a 2nd and 12. Couch on the ground again. This time Jackson has some room to the outside, and Jackson falling towards the sideline after the gain of 7. End of the third. Cleveland 12, Pittsburgh 9. It's turned into a good one here in Cleveland. We'll come back after these messages and a word from your local station.
For years I had a nightmare where
New York's Police Commissioner Bernie Carrick bears his soul to.
As we start play in the fourth quarter, Cleveland 12, Pittsburgh 9. Ian Eagle, Solomon Wilcots, the rest of our CBS crew with you from Cleveland Browns Stadium. Bill Cowher's team had a chance to take the lead, but a fumble by Cordell Stewart after Tyrone Rogers knocked it free into the end zone gives the ball to Cleveland. And now they face a 3rd and 4 at their own 26. Start of the fourth quarter. And that ball knocked down. Brent Alexander was there applying pressure, and Tim Couch was unable to get it across the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and that time Cleveland Browns offense goes 3 and out, and Butch Davis said in the fourth quarter we have to learn to finish off football games. Something they were not able to do last week against the Chicago Bears. That time had an opportunity to really move the ball on offense. Now they're going to turn it over, and the defense has to make plays here in the fourth quarter.
Chris Gardocki fielded by Poteet at the 29. Here's Poteet cutting it to the outside and tackled just across the 40 by Scott Frost. An 11-yard return after the 44-yard punt. Steelers have got possession back, trailing by 3. One last note on the Cordell fumble. Keep in mind the play just before the fumble. Amos Zaraway had a chance to take it the distance, and we wouldn't be talking about the Tyrone Rogers forced fumble.
You talk about finishing off plays. He stumbled inside the 5-yard line, he was caught by the defense and not able to get into the end zone.
Hines Ward trying to make something happen, and he's brought down by Jameer Miller. Ward is back in there after the shoulder injury earlier.
We know many of the gimmick plays in this offense is going to involve Hines Ward because he's so capable at doing so many things. And if he takes the ball in that backfield, he has the option of being able to run the ball, which he's shown that he can do, but he also has the ability to pass the ball. Former quarterback in college, he can make plays doing so many different things in this offense.
Zaraway is in the backfield, and he goes in motion on a 2nd and 13. Fuamatu Ma'afala now shifts behind Stewart. Cordell throwing. Open man is Burris. Plexico Burris trying to bounce off some tacklers. And Burris finally angles out of bounds. Instead of turning it upfield, he remained horizontal.
And I know Burris is trying to make something happen, but I'm sure, just like myself, many of the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive coaches saying, where are you going? You got to get vertical with the ball. That's where the yards are at. But he's going only sideways toward the sideline, which is where he goes out of bounds. You have to get vertical, get up the line of scrimmage, but you have to give Burris credit for making the catch over the middle of the field and really moving the chains, creating an opportunity for this first down.
18 yards on the pass play, now a 1st and 10. Here's the bus. Bettis to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Only 4 carries this half for Jerome Bettis. Jeff Harding's the center with a block up front.
Yeah, just under 80 yards rushing so far on 17 carries for Bettis, and this is where I think Pittsburgh has to go back to their bread and butter. They haven't been in the end zone all day except when they were tackled in their own end zone for the safety. Really struggled inside the red zone.
17 carries, 78 yards for Bettis. Come up on 13 minutes to play in the fourth on a 2nd and 5. Bettis gets the call again. Bettis breaks a tackle. Bettis has the first down. And dances to the sideline, out of bounds. Dwayne Rudd had an opportunity to bring him down, to no avail. 11-yard gain.
I don't know if I've ever seen better footwork from any running back the size of Jerome Bettis, tipping the scales at 250 pounds plus. You'll see him dip in the hole, then dip back out. This is something that's not done very easily, even by the most nimble of running backs, and Bettis has that ability to be able to use his footwork to really fool the defense. Think he's going up in the hole, then he bounces outside, really makes his offensive lineman look better on that play.
1st and 10 now at the Cleveland 29. Stewart back to throw it. Here comes the rush. Unloads. And Hines Ward with the catch. A 4-yard gain to the 25-yard line. Ward, another well-earned reception. We're going to New York at Jim Nantz.
Well, I think Pittsburgh learned just a little while ago, when you get down around the 5 or inside of it, you give it to your money back, as the Jets did right here. Curtis Martin, his 3rd touchdown of the day. He has 115 yards on the ground. The Jets just destroying Kansas City. Back to you, Ian.
What a year he's having, and the pupil beating the teacher with Herman Edwards against Dick Vermeil.
Jim Nantz is right. Cha-ching, money man Curtis Martin every time in the red zone.
2nd and 6 now for this Pittsburgh offense from the 25. Rollout. On the move, Stewart throwing. Incomplete. Plexico Burris was down on the grass. Let's go to New York again. Jim Nantz, a busy man.
All right, they're in the 4th quarter now at Foxborough, and the Patriots lead it 14-3 as Antoine Smith scores 6 on his former team, the Bills. Great second effort there. Patriots in front. Let's go back to you.
Jim, there was clearly some bitterness between Smith and the Bills. He felt he got a raw deal when he was in Buffalo after going over 1,000 yards a few years back. Now he's a Patriot.
Well, players use whatever they can to motivate themselves when they're going up against their former team. So far, it's working for Antoine Smith today.
Motivation now for Pittsburgh is a 3rd and 6. Trying to keep this drive moving. Over the middle. And the catch brought in by Hines Ward. It is very close to a 1st down. It all depends on the spot. Dalen McCutcheon makes the tackle.
And Cleveland does get the pressure on Cordell Stewart, but he maintains his poise. He knows he's going to have Hines Ward going over the middle of the field. You can see pressure coming right off the edges and up the middle. The hit by Jameer Miller, but look at the catch by Hines Ward in traffic. Watch, Miller comes up, hits him right in the chest. Cordell Stewart maintaining his poise, able to deliver the ball accurately while under pressure. That's where he's made his biggest improvement from this year to the early part of what we saw from Cordell Stewart last year.
An important measurement, and you're talking about inches. 4th down for Pittsburgh.
And they don't hesitate to go to Chris Brown in this situation after missing 4 field goals last week. And you could see Bill Cowher saying, it's okay, calm down. Many of the players also came in and gave a real strong vote of confidence for Chris Brown. See if he can reward him in this situation.
They'll play for the tie, a 37-yard attempt. Brown has been on the money so far today. Has never missed one against the Browns in his career. Field goal attempt is good. We are tied at 12 with 11:28 to go. 4th quarter. Couch and the Browns will have a chance to regain the lead when we come back.
Flight, are you ready for a cold one?
Pittsburgh kicker Chris Brown is now a perfect 4 for 4 on field goal attempts. This game is all knotted up at 12-12. On the return, Ben Gay. Middle of the field, and Gay is tackled down to the 35-yard line by Myron Bell. Well, coming up next, stay with us for all the action at the Franklin Templeton Shootout. And for more golf coverage, go to cbs.sportsline.com or AOL keyword CBS Sportsline. There is the leaderboard as we speak. Franklin Templeton Shootout is coming up right here on CBS. This is the largest crowd they have had for a football game in Cleveland since the Browns were brought back into the league in 1999. Total here today, 73,218. Butch Davis told us you cannot get a ticket for this one in the state of Ohio.
So don't even call. Right?
4th quarter action. Couch throwing. Knocked up in the air and incomplete. Kevin Johnson was the target. Chad Scott had the coverage.
Pittsburgh Steelers cornerbacks are now covering inside, a little bit tighter coverage. You can see he's sitting down at 5 yards. You can see him closing in right now. He knows the ball is coming in. And the quarterback, Dwayne Washington, said, we're going to cock our hips, turn inside. That allows the cornerbacks to have good vision of the quarterback. They can see the ball coming in. Right now, Pittsburgh going to call a timeout.
That is their first charge timeout of the second half. So Pittsburgh and Cleveland each with 2 timeouts remaining. 11:15 mark, fourth quarter.
It was the mountains and...
Reminder that you can follow all the games on NFL.com, and after the games get in-depth analysis and recaps from the experts only at NFL.com or AOL keyword NFL.com. On a 2nd and 10 after the timeout for Cleveland. Tim Couch throwing into coverage, and Chad Scott breaks it up.
And I saw it coming the whole time. So did Chad Scott. He broke inside before the ball was released. You can see he's reading Tim Couch right now. Never even backpedal. Broke on the ball right away. That ball's thrown perfectly. He's going to intercept it and go back for a touchdown. And now let's see if Cleveland will adjust to what these cornerbacks for the Pittsburgh Steelers are doing. You can see Dwayne Washington and Chad Scott been very productive. Chad Scott 3 interceptions right now. Both guys have been able to score on touchdowns. They're making some big plays. Let's see if Cleveland can adjust to what the defense is doing.
On 3rd down, 3rd and 10. Couch has the time. Couch looking to run it. Brought down from behind at the 40-yard line by Joey Porter. It's a gain of 4, and the Pittsburgh defense has done its job once again.
The speed of Joey Porter, because Couch, he broke up the middle, and he had no one in front of him to pick up the first down, and Porter goes up the field, but he's able to come back and close on the quarterback and keep Tim Couch from making the first down. You can see here's Porter right here, but watch him close right there. He's able to come up and make the tackle. And what an excellent play, showing the speed of Joey Porter.
Gardocki, they back off as he punts it away. Poteet allows it to take a bounce and rolls out of bounds just shy of the 15-yard line. Well, CBS Thursday, old alliances were shattered and the Survivor game was rocked. Now the competition intensifies on an all-new Survivor Africa. CBS Thursday.
Very tough, missing meals out in Africa with survivors. You know, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
You eat 3 squares a day. Very difficult.
I feel for them. It was their choice, though.
It was their choice.
No one to blame but themselves for the lack of nutrition. 1st and 10 to the 15. 2 teams trying to erase the memory of terrible losses a week ago. And Courtney Brown, we have not called his name very often today, but he keyed in on Cordell Stewart, able to knock it away as Stewart was trying to find Kreider in the flat.
But I tell you what, Courtney Brown's really made his presence felt, because they haven't been able to really gain much in terms of running to his side. And here you see he comes in and bats down this pass. He is an excellent combination of speed, agility, and strength. And he's going to be a big-time player in the National Football League. Whenever he's able to stay healthy and play, he really makes his presence felt.
Double tight end set on a 2nd and 10 from the 15. Coming up on 10 minutes to go in the 4th. Fake the handoff. Stewart doesn't have much room to work with. Trying to turn the corner. And forced to the sideline. Tyrone Rogers among those chasing him for Cleveland. And Rogers has Cordell's number today.
Yeah, and Rogers has the defensive end. It's his assignment. He has to contain the play. That means don't let anything get outside of you, not even a more speedier quarterback in Cordell Stewart. And you can see he's pressuring. Cordell's hoping he can run away from him, but he's not able to do so. Rogers doing a good job filling in for Keith McKenzie, who's out with an injury, was lost last week in the game against Chicago, but so far Rodgers has really stepped up and held up his end of the deal.
And Rodgers gets credit for the sack, his 2nd of the season. Now a 3rd and 14, and it is getting loud here in Cleveland. Stewart in the pocket, rush is coming, hit as he throws, incomplete. Hines Ward wants a flag. Anthony Henry, the rookie, had coverage, and Pittsburgh will punt.
Just the pressure by the defensive front of the Cleveland Browns, not allowing the play to materialize, much like what the Pittsburgh Steelers are hoping for. You see Courtney Brown's coming through, and now Jameer Miller getting the hit. And that's why Cordell Stewart doesn't have time for Hines Ward to come open in the middle of the field. Excellent play by this defense for the Cleveland Browns.
And the pressure now on Josh Miller to get off a good one, and he does. Sends it sailing all the way back to the 33. Dennis Northcutt flagged out, and Northcutt is tackled down to the 40-yard line.
They're going to get Raymond Jackson, who came in and clipped. It was right out in the open for everyone to see.
And Butch Davis knows it.
Yeah, you're going to have to be smarter. This is a play that's going to hurt the football team because they're going to get excellent field position no matter what. It's a block that you don't need to throw. You're going to get good field position just because he caught the ball right around the 30-yard line.
Yep. Now they're going to waltz back in the Cleveland zone. And it changes the whole dynamic here.
Flipping during the return. Number 31. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Jackson disagrees.
It's not one you can easily wave off.
Well, we'll give you the transition. Why not? From that Jackson to this Jackson. Tuesday on CBS. I only do what I'm told here. The one and only Michael Jackson reunites with his brothers for the first time in nearly 20 years and performs with today's biggest stars. Don't miss Michael Jackson's 30th anniversary celebration. Tuesday on CBS. I don't believe that Raymond is one of the brothers that I recall.
No, Raymond's not making the same kind of moves we're used to seeing from Michael Jackson, that's for sure.
There's Tito, I know that. On a first down. Fake the handoff. Couch sheds a tackler, and now the sack. He is devoured by Aaron Smith, along with Joey Porter.
And it all starts because Jason Gilden comes hot off the corner. He's being blocked by O.J. Santiago. You'll see him come right off the top, but that's what forces Tim Couch to step up in the middle where the others are free also to come in and get the sack on Tim Couch. Aaron Smith also coming. Joey Porter says, give me some. I want a half a sack as well. Pad the stats. These guys, they can get after the quarterback, leading the AFC coming in to today's game with 27 sacks.
Now a 2nd and 16 from the 16. Shotgun for Couch. Buying some extra time. Blockers in front. The Couch is spilled out. Earl Holmes.
And these plays are just well designed. Earl Holmes gets the sack, but Kendrell Bell, he gets there first. You see they're Xing, they're crossing right there, and that's what forces Tim Couch to step over where Earl Holmes will finish up. You see the crossing. Look at Kendrell Bell, number 97, coming through first, and Earl Holmes, he doesn't give up. He just up-ends Tim Couch. They're putting the pressure on Couch right now. Having a tough time protecting Couch here in the fourth quarter.
Fourth Pittsburgh sack. Give credit to the Pittsburgh secondary on the coverage. Couch on that first read had to stick it in. Knocked up in the air. And Kevin Johnson was the intended receiver. Deshae Townsend was in on the coverage. Earl Holmes is slow to get up. And Townsend, who we mentioned earlier, is now grabbing at his left ankle. High ankle. It's Townsend in his 4th year from Alabama.
You can see this ball is going to be thrown inside. That's right there to Kevin Johnson. I think this ball's still alive. It hits the foot of Lathon Flowers. That ball could have been caught and intercepted by Earl Holmes. Let's watch the bounce of the ball. See, it hits the foot of 41 Flowers. This ball's still alive. He lands right on the leg of Deshae Townsend. They're already thin in that secondary. We've already seen Logan leave the game, forcing Alexander to come up and play the nickel position. Townsend, he plays the dime. He'll often blitz from that dime position. But now you can see he's down. He's going to have to go out for a play, but hopefully he can be okay. They're starting to lose some players in that secondary for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Also keep in mind, Jason Simmons inactive for this game because of a hamstring injury. He's a backup at the cornerback spot. They do have Myron Bell, a veteran, former Bengal, backs up at safety, and Hank Poteet, who is really known more as a special teams performer. And here's Townsend limping off as he makes his way toward the sideline.
And Bell is a player that knows the defense well. He started out after he was drafted out of Michigan State, started his career here in Pittsburgh, went and played a couple of years in Cincinnati, and now is back in his second stint with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So he knows this defense very well, and their zone blitz scheme, particularly on 3rd down. He comes in the game now, but it's in a special team situation as they bring out the punt return team.
The bigger problem right now for Cleveland is 3 straight 3-and-outs on the offensive end. And once again, Gardocki is put into a position where he's punting out of his own end zone.
And Pittsburgh is expected to get really good field position. They're going to need a huge punt here by Gardai.
Poteet is standing at his own 49-yard line. Poteet from the 48 makes a move, darts his way forward, and tackled on special teams at the 45 of Cleveland by Ryan Keel, the snapper. It's a 44-yard punt, a 7-yard return. And with 8:18 to go in the fourth, Steelers and Browns all knotted up at 12-12. Pittsburgh football.
Important part of the game. You talk about Pittsburgh football, that smash mouth running game with Jerome Bettis. They only have 45 yards to go, but they need a touchdown. They've been settling for Chris Brown's field goals all day. 4 by the field goal kicker after missing 4 last week, but they have to come out and manufacture yards in the running game, try to chew up time off the clock, but more importantly, they have to put the ball into the end zone.
Steelers trying to move to 6-2 for the first time since the 1997 season. On a handoff, it is Bettis slipping through a hole, and then crowded with tacklers at the 40-yard line. A gain of 5 for the Bucs.
And that's a good option. If you can pick up 5 yards on first down and create 2nd and 5 situation, what it does for a creative offensive coordinator like Mike Mularkey, you can go deep into the playbook and run a number of different things. You can see some gadget plays, maybe quarterback draw, but you have the option to keep the defense off balance, be it run or pass, from the offensive football team for Pittsburgh right now.
On a 2nd and 5. Browns crowd the line. Quick throw to the sideline. Hines Ward attempting to break free and cannot. Dalen McCutcheon made sure he got him down low after a gain of 2. And they are not fooling anybody with these long screen passes to the outside.
Yeah, they just try to go out to Hines Ward, and Hines is adept at making a would-be tackler miss. That time, Dalen McCutcheon is able to execute and pin Hines Ward down. No yards after the catch. Good tackle by Dalen McCutcheon.
Coach Fazio, defensive coordinator for this Browns team. A number of players told us on this Cleveland defense they would run through a wall for Coach Foge. Right now, he's just asking them to stop Pittsburgh on a 3rd and 4. Rollout. Stewart stops. Timing pattern. Out of bounds. Bobby Shaw, the intended receiver. And Pittsburgh had a grand opportunity with terrific field position to open up this possession.
And it was a play that was dead from the start. The receivers never got off the line of scrimmage. This is what we say. You got to jam the receivers because it can disrupt the timing of the play. Hines Ward was never able to get into the position. That's a play they like to use with a single high read for Cordell Stewart. Only has one option on the play. That time they could not get open, and they're forced to punt the football.
Josh Miller had a good one on his last attempt. Miller, fair catch at the 8 from Northcutt. So that's where this Browns offense will start out, the 8-yard line. They have been struggling of late on the offensive side of the ball.
November 12th.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Steelers and Browns tied at 12 with 6:46 to go in the fourth quarter from Cleveland. And the Browns with a 1st and 10 at their own 8-yard line. Tough field position to start out. On a handoff, Jackson twirled forward. Lee Flowers in on the stop after the gain of 1. Cleveland offensively, just not much to speak of in the second half.
Yeah, minus 14 on their first drive, and then the last drive they move him backwards, minus 11. But the last 3 drives they've gone 3 and out, and that's the biggest problem. You really have to give a lot of credit to the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. So far, 3 sacks here in the second half. They've really done a good job of getting after the quarterback, Tim Couch, and really shutting down the receivers on the outside, changing up their technique.
On a 2nd and 9 now. Give. Jackson has some room. Puts his head down and crosses the 15. Jackson picks up 8. It'll be about a yard shy as Ross Verba laid out a block for the rookie.
And that time they caught the Pittsburgh Steelers defense pinning their ears back and coming after the quarterback, expecting pass in that situation. They're able to use the quick hitting run play with James Jackson, and they were to pick up some really good yards on the play.
Well, Tim Couch came into this game with a quarterback rating of 99.2 in the fourth quarter. That ranks as best in the AFC. So far in this fourth, Cleveland has been unable to muster up anything on the offensive end. This is a 3rd and 1, and an important play. Handoff. Jackson driving forward. Lee Flowers sticks him, but it should be enough.
It's a good hit by Lee Flowers, but you also have to give a very small James Jackson credit at 5'10", just a little bit on the other side of 200 pounds for hitting it up in there, pressing the hole before Flowers can shut it down and shut down the play.
Let's flash you back now. 1994. AFC playoffs on the line, December of that year. Barry Foster gave the Steelers the lead. Vinny Testaverde intercepted by Chad Brown. The Steelers beat the Browns 17-7. In one of the great rivalries in the NFL. James Jackson, no gain on the play. Earl Holmes there to contain him. Browns and Steelers, and Bill Cowher came out and said it. Butch Davis as well. It's nice to see this matchup actually meaning something middle of the year.
Well, Bill Cowher has very fond memories of his time spent here in Cleveland. He was a player here, special teams player, and also was a special teams coach here with the Cleveland Browns. And, you know, he was part of some really big games with those old Cleveland Browns in the AFC Championship games.
Now a 2nd and 10. Couch out of the shotgun. He's sacked. Jason Gilden again. He has been possessed throughout the day.
Yeah, he's pinning his ears back, and he's just beats Roger Shinwa on that play. Coming off the corner, using his speed. He's a good combination of speed and strength, but he'll come off the top. Number 69, Roger Shinwa. He's no match for the speed of Jason Gilden, who's just been on fire here in the second half.
2.5 sacks on the day for Gilden. He came in with 3 on the year. Pittsburgh is making the plays defensively. And the Browns now face a 3rd and 15 from their 14-yard line. Out of the gun. Couch throwing. Knocked up in the air and almost intercepted by, guess who? Gilden.
You just don't find them like Jason Gilden. The speed and power, the bull rush, an offensive tackle and come around the corner. And then to be able to drop in coverage, knowing that they're coming with the quick slant routes, he's able to get out in coverage right in the path of the football and knock this ball down. And had it had a proper bounce, if you're a Pittsburgh Steeler, that ball almost came down where he could have intercepted it.
5 straight incomplete passes for Tim Couch. Another opportunity for Hank Poteet. Poteet, returnable punt from the 42. Poteet cutting to the outside. Sheds 2 tacklers. And now Poteet is brought down. No gain on the return. Mike Sellers made his way over after the 44-yard punt. And Pittsburgh regains possession with 3:19 left. Next Saturday, we've got a day-night doubleheader for you. Alabama taking on Auburn. And in primetime, in-state rivalry, Florida State tangling with the Florida Gators. Action begins with Timmy Brando, Spencer Tillman, College Football Today. Go to cbs.sportsline.com for more information. 3:19 to play in the 4th. Pittsburgh takes over on a handoff. Jerome Bettis breaking free. Bettis into Cleveland territory. And tackled down at the 44-yard line. He ripped off 15 yards on 1st down.
You talk about your money, man, Jerome Bettis. It doesn't get much better because there wasn't much running room over to that left side, and he's still able to break tackles and get up the sideline. He's staying in bounds, but look at him fighting defenders for extra yards. Percy Ellsworth just holding on for dear life, trying to get Bettis on the ground.
109 yards rushing for Bettis. 4th 100-plus yard game this season. Down to 2:38 left. Line of scrimmage, the 45. Cordell floats it to the outside and Burris. Burris turns it upfield and then upended at the 32-yard line. That's another 1st down.
You just see glimpses of brilliance from Plexico Burris because he comes back to the ball, does a good job, comes back to the ball, and now look at him. He turns out and gets up the field, something we criticized him for earlier in the game when he was very horizontal running toward the sideline.
Here's the problem, though. They rule that he stepped out of bounds a yard shy of the marker, so even when you think he did something positive, he comes up just a little bit short.
Such is the life of a young player in the National Football League.
Well, he's showing some flashes, though, and Pittsburgh has to be happy about that. On the give, Bettis. That's a 1st down run for the Steelers. Bettis falling forward for a gain of 4. and inching closer to the 30-yard line. Certainly in field goal range now for Chris Brown, but they'd like to avoid it if possible, putting the pressure on their kicker.
That's right, and this is what is the most critical part of the game. 2 minutes coming right up. They want to try to punish this Cleveland Brown defense by hammering Jerome Bettis at the defense, not really putting the game in the hands of Chris Brown.
2 minutes left from Cleveland. Steelers and Browns all tied up at 12. We're coming. Pittsburgh kicker Chris Brown trying to get mentally and physically prepared for what could be a game-winning field goal attempt. 12-12. Steelers and Browns tied up with 2 minutes to go. Pittsburgh has the football and a handoff to Bettis. Jerome Bettis gains 2 yards on the ground. And a minute 51 now left here in the fourth.
And this Cleveland defense has to be very careful. They're packing it in at the line of scrimmage, expecting Pittsburgh to come with a power running game featuring Jerome Bettis. But on second down, Steelers can still sneak in a Hines Ward behind the defense and get the big play and score a touchdown. So while you want to defend the run, you want to be very careful. And I'm sure that's what Butch Davis is telling his defense right now.
Browns use a timeout, just one remaining now. And Bill Cowher and company in another tight one. Last week, Chris Brown had chance after chance to extend the lead against Baltimore, to knock off the defending champions. Jerome Bettis told us it was a statement game. We ran up and down the field on them and still lost. Brown may get that chance to redeem himself today on a 2nd and 8. Kreider, the motion man. Stewart stops and throws. Low throw. Incomplete. Plexico Burress the target.
One thing there, I think Pittsburgh really showed their hand. You see, they're spread out. This is an obvious pass formation. They try to get the ball. You have to throw this ball behind him because Dwayne Rudd, number 57, was in position to intercept the pass had he led Plexico Burress inside. But you have to really, I think, disguise the fact that you want to pass the football by formation.
Solomon, right now we're talking about a 47, 48-yard attempt if Pittsburgh is unable to gain any more yardage. 3 receiver looks. Stewart out of the shotgun with a minute 48 to go in a tie game. Stewart trying to keep it himself, and Cordell dives forward. He picks up 2 yards. Brant Boyer makes sure to bring him down before Cordell could do any more damage.
And now Chris Brown will come on. We told you he missed 4 field goals last week. He had 1 hit the crossbar and 3 went wide right.
Cleveland has used a timeout. They stopped the clock with a minute 42 left. This was 1 week ago. Images that Chris Brown is trying to erase from his memory bank. He has been a reliable kicker. That's something Bill Cowher pointed out immediately following the game.
And he's well liked by many of the players on this football team. We told you he's not a kicker that's set apart from the football team because he works hard in practice. But here he goes once again.
Pittsburgh 12, Cleveland 12. 45-yard attempt for Chris Brown, trying to bounce back from his nightmare of a week ago from 45 yards away. No good! This game remains deadlocked. Brown had been 4 of 4 on the day. He had been perfect in his career against Cleveland. 17 of 17 until that attempt.
And he's kicking into the east end. This is where he was kicking during warm-ups. And I watched him during warm-ups. He missed several. And last week he had...
come back.
This one, he just pulls it to the left because he normally works those kicks from the left to the right side. He tries to get it out to the left side, pulls it just a little too much.
So now the Browns take over. With a minute 37 left. Tim Couch out of the shotgun in a tie game. Couch throwing on first down underneath. And not much there after the gain of 3 to Kevin Johnson. Clock continues to move. Browns have no timeouts remaining.
The Browns are looking to work their quick passing game, but they're going to have to get rid of the ball very quickly because Jason Gilden has been red hot getting to the quarterback.
Again out of the shotgun. Couch knocked away. Great play by Deshae Townsend to make sure it didn't get to Dennis Northcutt in the passing game.
And they're going to have to change up a little bit. They've been running one slant after another by the wide receivers on this offensive football team, and you have to know that the Pittsburgh Steelers secondary, they're going to be laying all over these routes looking to make a big play. So they're going to have to do something else and sort of change up what they're doing offensively with the wide receivers in the short passing game.
Also another variable, Pittsburgh could get the football back here with 2 timeouts remaining. There's still 1:17 on the clock. This is a 3rd and 7. Couch throwing. Catch is made by Jamie Sherman. And a first down for Cleveland out across the 45. That covers 10 yards.
Tim Couch is very good at working this 2-minute situation, letting time tick off the clock. Got to get lined up and get a play off.
Again out of the shotgun. Couch trying to run it towards the sideline. Here's Couch in the open field and steps out of bounds at the 41. That's an 11-yard scamper for the Cleveland QB. 50 seconds left in the 4th. The clock is stopped.
Really good play that time, Tim Couch. He shows you he's just not a pocket passer. He can get out, has some mobility himself. Really good athlete. Was high school basketball player of the year in the state of Kentucky. And, you know, so he has some good movement in terms of his footwork. Is able to make some plays running the ball.
He has engineered 2 fourth-quarter comebacks already this season. One against San Diego, the other against Jacksonville. On first down from the 41. Here's Couch stepping up. Couch under some heat and sacked. Casey Hampton, the rookie. Cleveland trying to hurry up to the line, and they just lost valuable yardage. 2nd and 16 now from the 47. Couch working quickly. 35 seconds left. And sacked again. Jason Gilden.
And that's Jason Gilden. We told you to watch out that Couch has to get rid of the football because Jason Gilden, he's doing a good job coming off the right side of the offensive line for the Cleveland Browns.
Now a 3rd and 21. Browns moving in the wrong direction. And a quick stick after that floater to Kevin Johnson. And a timeout taken by Pittsburgh with 14 seconds left. Butch Davis thought he had something cooking here in the 4th.
Yeah, but they forgot to block Jason Gilden, who's been getting after the quarterback here in the second half. Just giving Roger Chinwa fits coming off that right side.
Steelers and Browns are tied at 12. Let's clue you in on what's happened here today. Orpheus Roy, a safety, bringing down Jerome Bettis, a 2-0 Cleveland lead. Couch to Santiago, 12-yard touchdown reception, 9-0 Cleveland early in this game. Chris Brown, after the troubles he had a week ago, he connects on his first attempt, 31 yards away. Then a 27-yarder for Brown to make it 9-6. Brown would get another chance, this time from 37 yards away, a 9-9 game. Dawson answers with a 40-yard field goal, giving Cleveland the 3-point lead. Brown with a 37-yarder of his own. But a big miss late in the 4th quarter. Gardocki the punt. And he does the smart thing towards the sideline. Unreturnable punt for Hank Poteet. And it bounces out of bounds at the 5-yard line after a 41-yard punt.
And credit the Pittsburgh Steelers defense for coming up big and forcing the punt by Cleveland.
Only 6 seconds remain. Pittsburgh 12, Cleveland 12. And the Steelers have the football. You assume they take a knee here and just settle for overtime. Pinned back deep in their own territory at the 5. Don't forget also about Cordell Stewart and a costly fumble into the end zone after they reviewed it. And it came back to the 20 off the touchback and the turnover. Regulation will not decide this one. The Browns and the Steelers are going to OT. Pittsburgh at 5-2, the Browns at 4-3. Both teams had heartbreaking defeats a week ago. And Chris Brown had a chance to redeem himself.
And Chris Brown is going to have another opportunity here in this game. So he's going to have to get himself together after missing the final kick going towards the east end. But both teams now have to refocus and readjust. If you're Cleveland, you hope to get the football and continue the quick passing attack that's really been working for them, but they're going to have to do a better job of protecting the quarterback, Tim Couch. If you're Pittsburgh, you get the ball in this situation, you go back to your bread and butter, the running game with Jerome Bettis, because they've been able to move the ball. They just need to execute better in the red zone, and that's why Chris Brown will certainly, I believe he'll have another opportunity here in this football game.
Time now for the coin toss here in overtime.
During the overtime period, each team will have 2 timeouts. All replay challenges are handled in the press box by the replay assistant. Pittsburgh, you're the visiting team. Who'll call a toss? This is heads. This is tails. Tails is the choice. It is tails. Pittsburgh has won the choice. They will receive. Cleveland, you will kick off.
So Pittsburgh has won the toss. They'll receive to start play in overtime. Steelers and Browns. It's 12-12 here in Cleveland. We're coming back.
Shelly, listen, it's Greg. I'm at the dentist.
Getting ready for overtime. We've certainly detailed what happened at Pittsburgh last week, and Chris Brown in particular. How about Butch Davis and his club against the Chicago Bears? Everyone figured to put this one in the win column.
Yeah,
not the case.
That's right. They were up by 14 with 32 seconds left in regulation. Could not execute on the Hail Mary play by the Chicago Bears. James Allen able to haul it in, and that's where they had another miracle in overtime by Mike Brown, getting the tip, the interception. And you know what? It's all over before the Cleveland Browns knew what happened.
This is the first time the Browns will play back-to-back overtime games since November of 1986. And Tim Couch is just hoping he gets an opportunity to take the field. Pittsburgh will receive after winning the toss.
Butch Davis spent all week talking about finishing off football games. They have the opportunity to really redeem themselves after giving up the game last week. So they have a chance here today. They're doing a good job in the fourth quarter. Now they take it into overtime.
Ian Eagles, Solomon Wilcox, the rest of our CBS crew with you from Cleveland Browns Stadium. The anticipation was huge heading into the week for this one in this area. And they've got an overtime contest. Edwards on the return. Edwards moving forward to the 28. He brought it back 20 yards before Raymond Jackson brought him down on special teams. 12-12. The Steelers coming off that 13-10 loss at home to Baltimore. We just showed you how the Browns lost in bizarre fashion in overtime against Chicago. From the 28, Stewart, handoff, Bettis, Jerome Bettis, on his feet across midfield, dragging tacklers with him across the 45-yard line into Cleveland territory.
Now this does a number of things for you. Not only does it shows your power in terms of wearing down the defense, but it really just takes the heart out of your football team. The first play in overtime that you're able to come out and exert your will on the opposing football team. So it not only does it deflate the other team, but it shows that you're in command with Jerome Bettis in the running game.
A 27-yard important burst for Bettis on the first play from scrimmage at OT. Handoff, Bettis again, this time up the middle. And Bettis moves it out to the 41 after the gain of 3. Gerard Warren, we have not called his name, the young rookie, very often today, but Warren involved in that stop.
And what I think Pittsburgh needs to do a better job at is after a first down, now they're facing 2nd and 7. Don't spread out in an obvious passing formation. Come with a really good run look and then be able to slip someone behind and hit on a nice pass play.
On 2nd down, first possession of overtime. Tied at 12. Stewart, pump fake, looking for blockers. Stewart cuts it upfield. He's got a first down. Stumbles to the 32. He lost the ball late, but he was ruled down after the gain of 10. Brant Boyer got him down low.
And that's what they do. They come out with twins left. They pump fake, and now they go out. He acts as if he's trying to get outside, but Boyer does a good job, number 52, containing the football. Cordell cuts it up the middle, but Boyer is able to get a handout, trip Cordell Stewart up. He said, I just needed it one more inch, and may have broken that even further.
Will Brown get another chance? First down from the 32 of Cleveland. Bread and butter, it's Bettis. Jerome Bettis finds the opening, and Bettis picks up 6 yards to the 25. Orpheus Roy missed him. He had a chance to bring him down early, and there's Cower.
And he's yelling to that offensive line, keep it up, because this front seven for the Cleveland Browns, they played a lot of snaps in this football game today, but the offensive line of the Pittsburgh Steelers now beginning to take control.
2nd and 3. Long count for Cordell. Give once again, no secret, it's Bettis. And falls forward after a gain of a couple. Pittsburgh and Cleveland tied at 12 in overtime. A packed house here, over 73,000 at Cleveland Brown Stadium, the largest attendance number they have ever had in this new facility. And now Pittsburgh facing a 3rd and 1, moving it deeper into Cleveland territory.
This is an important 3rd and 1 because they want a touchdown here. They've come this far. They want to try to punch it in, not have to rely on Chris Brown.
Right now you're looking at about a 41-yard attempt for Brown if they get no yardage here. It's Bettis. Has a blocker. Jerome Bettis. They'll move the chains. Down to the 15, Dan Kreider with another key block, the backup fullback.
And everyone in the stadium knew that Jerome Bettis was going to get the ball on 3rd and 1, and even the Cleveland Brown defenders knew they were going to get it, but they couldn't stop him. And that's why the power of Jerome Bettis working behind this offensive line, when they were able to do it, when everyone knows it's coming, it really just robs the life out of you, and really, I think, robs the opposing defense of its momentum.
On a first down from the 15. Handoff, Bettis again. They keep going to Bettis here in overtime, and Bettis has continued to give Pittsburgh yardage up the field. Steelers and Browns are tied at 12 with 10:45 left in overtime. Pittsburgh had a chance to take the lead late in the 4th quarter, but Chris Brown missing on a field goal attempt. 1 week ago, he missed on 4 of them in a 3-point loss to the defending world champion Baltimore Ravens. Brown is hoping for another chance. 2nd and 10 now from the 15. Browns crowd the line. It's Bettis getting the call. And Bettis brought down after a gain of only 1. Percy Ellsworth among those involved in the stop. And now they're sending the field goal unit onto the field right now.
Pittsburgh electing to run the ball in that situation. That's what got them here, but they know they're going to go with Chris Brown. But we saw what happened in the 4th quarter. Chris Brown going 4 for 5 today, and on this kick, he just pulls it to the left after missing 3 last week to the right. Gets a little too much, but here he is.
32-yard attempt. Mike Schneck to snap it. Miller to hold it. Brown leans into it, and he's got it. Chris Brown and the Pittsburgh Steelers have bounced back from a heartbreaking loss a week ago. In overtime, Pittsburgh knocks off Cleveland. 15-12 the final.
Chris Brown, 5 field goals on the day. He missed 1, but he scored every point the Pittsburgh Steelers put on the scoreboard here today.
8 plays in overtime for Pittsburgh, all of them running plays. And it led to a Chris Brown field goal attempt.
Good snap, good hole, and it's true right down the middle. Chris Brown didn't flinch in overtime here today.
So the Pittsburgh Steelers move to 6-2 for the first time since 1997. For the Browns, it is back-to-back overtime losses. Cleveland could not generate any offense in the second half.
In large part due to the fact that they could not protect the quarterback, Tim Couch. Jason Gilden, you have to give him credit because he was smoking coming off the left side of that Pittsburgh Steeler defense, really applying pressure to the quarterback, shutting down their passing game.
NFL Today will be coming up. Chris Brown, after the nightmare of a week ago, got his chance and redeemed himself. Pittsburgh a winner, 15-12. For Solomon Wilcox, the rest of our CBS crew, this is Ian Eagle. So long from Cleveland. Pittsburgh a winner in OT. This is the NFL. on CBS.
Home Springs.
Will they take the matchup with the Colts? Miami got its longest pass completion of the season as Jay Fiedler hit Chris Chambers with this 74-yard touchdown, the first score of Chambers' NFL career.
Garth Brooks, Coast to Coast, live, CBS winning.
Templeton shootout coming your way, but we want to go through the scores and highlights. You just saw it in overtime. Chris Brown, 5 of 6 today. How about this? For the second straight week, the Browns are beaten by a Brown. Mike Brown a week ago.
In overtime.
Chris Brown today.
In overtime.
I don't think they think that's very funny, but here's O.J. Santiago with the first touchdown. They go up 9-0.
Guess who picked Cleveland?
I guess I did pick Cleveland. Here's Cordell Stewart. This is an unusual play because they rolled a touchback, fumbled through the end zone. Cleveland got the ball on the 20-yard line.
Ball should be in his left hand, not in that right hand.
Well, we always knew that, we people who ran with the ball.
Chris Brown could have won it in regulation with about a minute and a half to play.
Yeah, where was he last week?
Well, that was
doing
the
same
miss
thing,
from 45.
the right side.
That was the miss from 45. He had made his first 4, missed that one, came back to win it in overtime. Brown delivering the winner right here.
Well, I'm happy for him. I really am.
Good mental toughness. That's all that going wrong. Come back and put it through there. I'd have kept that kick.
32 yards out. Probably a career-saving kick right there, let's be honest. And the Steelers behind Bettis' 163. 163 win it. And the Dolphins win on the road against Indianapolis.
Big plays. Jay Fiedler to Chris Chambers. 70.